me clean that off a little bit right there. Hi, friends. Hello. Reggie, get in your bucket, buddy. Get in your bucket, okay? Get in your bucket. Hello, friends. Hello. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday after Christmas, in the middle of Hanukkah, that really weird period of time in between Christmas and New Year's where we're all like, what? Like, what? We're kind of doing anything we want, eating whatever we want, some cases saying whatever we want, right? It's just that really bizarre time of year where, I don't know, it's kind of like no man's land a little bit, right? Am I right? That weird time in between Christmas and New Year's. So, welcome everyone. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Nice to have you here. Let's check and see. Let's check and see who we have with us, okay? Okay, let's look. Let's look. Hello, Jolene. She just got her order. It has the January through March season pass, the winter spring season pass. Yes, those have been shipping out like crazy. Lily and Denise, oh my gosh, they've worked their little tails off. So we'll talk about season pass shortly. If you're like, what? Wait a minute, season pass, what is that? Hello, Amy. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Julie, and from Foggy, California. Just saw her daughter leaving, won't see her till March. It's really hard, right? Holidays are bittersweet, right? Holidays are just bitter for some people. Holidays are sweet for some people, and for lots of us, bittersweet, right? Some good things, some hard things. So, Julie, don't be sad. I mean, I kind of want to tell you not to be sad, but enjoy. Think about the time you had with her. And now you have something to look forward to, right? Now you have something to look forward to when you're going to see her again. So that's always nice. Hello, Zen Girls from Denver. Zen Girls had asked about the season pass and about an annual season pass. So we will talk about that right when we turn the camera, because there's lots of questions about season pass. I have my sorry about that. I have the, my phone is just so much heavier than it used to be. Lots of us, right? My phone, new phone. Hello, Patricia from Chile, Vegas. Karen, fun photos from childhood. Aren't those always fun to see? Like when you see photos from your childhood and you're seeing like the groovy van that your parents drove, or the avocado green carpet and the avocado green appliances, right? You can tell kind of my era, Gen X, like I was born in 68, so kind of that whole in the 70s era, but it's always fun. It's amazing how photos take you back, right? Photos and smells, I think both take us back like so much. Let's see. Jolene, 2 in college, 6th grader at home. Oh, that does help, right, Jolene? I'm sure. Wow, there's a good mix there. But how fun to have your 6-year-old, your 6th grader at home still. Nancy, hello, Nancy. Nancy, you're going to have to tell us in the chat how your family reacted to their family group present. I commented on one of your posts and I was just dying to hear about that. So, hello, Bob, Terry's husband. That is so sweet. That is so sweet. What is in my pocket? Oh, anyhow. Bob, thank you. That's so sweet. Bob is Terry's husband, Terry Leto. And he said, Terry will be joining later, so someone else will need to keep Lael on time until she gets here. Mother of the bride shower. How fun is that? That sounds like so much fun. Hello, Laura from Florida. Karen, good morning from North Carolina. Heather is saying good morning from sunny Gilbert, Arizona. Boy, Heather and Amy, you guys, please excuse this. Next week, Nick is home. Well, not like Nick's the technical genius, but Nick is home. All last week, he's off to the end of the year, beginning of the year. So I'm going to have him help me with this situation that we've got going on here, where now my phone is heavier, so this continually syncs while we're going and whatever else is going on. So just bear with me. Hello, Jen from Seattle. Hello, Susan from Atlanta. 111 Renee's from Nashville. Happy Saturday, Heather. Yes, what day is it, right? We're like, what day is it? We do know today is Saturday. I know that. Good morning, Mazel. Good morning, Mindy, Brenda. Pamela from Virginia has, on the big screen. I'm on the big screen. Some of you watch me on your big screen, your TV. Some of you watch me on your little screen, your phone. Hello, Martine from the Netherlands. Nice to see you. Good morning, Alma. Kelly's Creative Dreams. Hello, hello. Debbie, hello. Jackie is back from sunny Florida, headed back to the cold, right? Good morning, Heather. Hi, Pam. Nice to see you. Jen, so lots of you are receiving your season pass kit. I'm so excited about that. So we will kind of kick off this morning talking about that season pass a little bit before we dig in. For those of you that are like, wait a minute, what? Tabby Cat, hers arrives today. She's in British Columbia. Merlene, hello Merlene. She's made 2 in a row with us. Nice to have you. Drury in Ohio, Drury also in Utah. Very dreary here in Utah as well. It has been for the last couple of days, which I don't know, doesn't necessarily contribute well to the whole what day is it, what week is it, what time of year is it thing that we all have going. Hold on, friends. I apologize. I apologize. Things have been a little crazy, but I should have worked to figure this out before we started again today. It's just that sagging. Nobody needs a sagging anything. Limbo and birthday HE double hockey sticks for Julie. She said week between Christmas and New Year's. 4 birthdays. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's a lot. Hi, Mom. Mom and her little dog Frankie are here. Hi, hello. Karen's still in Christmas mode. So Nancy said, I gotta just tell you guys, because this was the coolest thing. Nancy did a family Christmas present for her family. She had shared this with us some time ago, but she was doing a family Christmas, like in experiences as opposed to gifts, physical things and experiences. So they were taking their family to Disneyland or Disney World. I don't remember which one it was. And so she was very excited to kind of have that be the Christmas gift. So now I can read what she said. It was so fun. I cried over their excitement. We found a videographer with Disney that made a video we showed on the TV. Like Nancy, it makes me want to cry. Mickey Mouse addressed the kids by name and told them Nana and Papa were going. Oh my goodness. Nancy, that is like one of those core memories. That is going to be one of those core memories for your family and your grandkids for the rest of their life. So I love it. I love it. Love it. Worked out well. She wrapped a box with custom family Disney shirt, mouse ears, and their armband. Oh my goodness. Love it. Hi, Cheryl. Cheryl and Penny, her dog Penny, and Gloomy and Misty. LA. Yeah, just kind of gloom. It's like gloomy here. Lots of places. Hello, Jamie from the Netherlands. All right, friends. All right. I think we are going to, I'm just going to let this go. Pretty soon you'll be looking at my feet and then you will all be good. You'll be like, what happened to Lael? Why are we looking at her feet? Like, is she talking about her feet for some reason? This sinking camera. All right, so let's talk about a couple of things. This is our last listing session of 2024. I can't even believe I'm saying that, right? Do you believe that? That's crazy. We've done a lot of listing sessions this year. We've done lots and lots of lists, over 100. I haven't counted yet. I'll know soon enough because we are in the middle now of working on the idea book for 2024, right? It will come out in 2025, but it'll be all of our lists for 2024. So very soon we will know exactly how many lists there are. Well, really after this Saturday, we will know. So this time of year, if you are a little bit newer and haven't necessarily joined us before, let me back up. Let me back it up and introduce myself. If we have not met before, hello, my name is Lael Khankar. I have a business called Lael by Mail. When I'm not traveling, we are here on my YouTube channel on Saturdays, and we're doing what I like to call creative listing. So a couple days ahead, usually Thursdays, will publish 3 or 4, just depending, listing topics. And when we are together here on Saturday, we are creative listing. So we are making lists, but we're really kind of documenting, telling stories. We are really telling our own story, all right? Because we're making lists, things that I wanted to be when I grew up, things. I'm so sorry. This is just going to continue to drive me crazy. So I apologize that I keep doing that. You know what? I just need to stop saying I'm sorry. I just need to do it and just do it. And then it is what it is. Oh my goodness. Anyhow, we're here on Saturdays when I'm not traveling, creative listing. And so we're taking those listing topics. I make my lists, but then I have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun doing that, whether you're listing with me or you are working on another project, whether you're cleaning the house or working or whatever it is that you may do when you're here with me. But I play with lots of different product. A lot of that product is my own Lael by Mail product, but I also work with products from other manufacturers, other designers, and we try things out. We talk about the process. I talk about my thought process as I am doing that. So I am working live with very little plans of what I'm doing. I know what product I'm going to use. Sometimes I have a rough sketch in my head, but a lot of times it's just very kind of organic, and it is live, right? So that means sometimes it may feel like it's watching paint dry because you're not just seeing the finished product. You are watching me do that, but a lot of it is a learning experience because it's learning for me. I am learning what works, what doesn't work in terms of maybe new techniques I'm trying. And I think in a lot of cases, it's learning for you because I'm talking through my thought process and my design process and so forth. So that's what we do here on Saturdays when I'm not traveling. I have a website, laelbymail.com. There are lots of links in the description box of the video, but you will find a link to my website there. You will also find a link to the products that I am using in today's listing session. So we try to keep you covered. So if you're looking for something, you can find what you're looking for. The Batman to my Robin. No, the Robin to my Batman is here. Also, Amy Sonneman, and she is definitely my left hand, right hand, big toe sometimes, you know what I mean. But she is here, and as I'm working with products, she'll drop links into the chat. So if you're wondering what I'm using, you can just click there, or you can click on the what I'm using page on the website. So that is the plan. I have put out the listing schedule. The tentative, it's always tentative because we never know what's going to come up, but the tentative listing schedule through March of 2025. I believe I have linked that in the description box of the video. It is also on the blog. Later today, I will pop that up and pin it to the Lael by Mail Facebook page and Facebook group. But that is how you know when we will be listing. I'll tell you right now, we are listing the 4th. So we're listing next weekend, we're listing the 4th, we're listing the 11th, we're listing the 18th. So that'll give us the next couple of weeks, the next 3 listing sessions, but watch for that schedule if you haven't seen it yet. So our plan here for the next month, if you are somewhat new here, or maybe you have a short memory, like a lot of us tend to at this age, around this time of year, we are doing pretty much the same thing. When it comes to our listing topics, we're doing that kind of the same thing every year. We're going into our 5th year. We're going into our 6th year because in March it will be the 5th year that we've been doing this. So in 2025, we'll be going into our 6th year. And every year, kind of around this time, we're doing similar things. We are wrapping up, kind of tying up, putting a bow on, setting off to the side the current year. So our list topics will be kind of wrapping up the year, things that we did well, things that we'd like to forget. We'll be doing our About Last Year, which is kind of a culmination of all 12 About Last Months. We will then start looking forward into the next year, 2025. So things you want to focus on. There's a whole slew of things. I have all of our listing topics planned out for the next 4 weeks. And that's kind of what we do this time of year. And it's a nice way to kind of finish up the year, but then also start looking towards the new year, right? So that is our plan. I've got that. All right. So we have one winner from last week's after party. So I like to give away at least 2 prizes when we are together. One is a live prize, so that those of you that are watching live, that live prize takes place in the chat. And then there's an after party prize. So an after party prize anyone can participate in, whether you're watching live or watching the replay. And you do that by leaving a comment on the video when it's over. So not during the chat, on the comment on the video when it's over. So the way that I draw those before we start our next session. So this morning, I drew one random lucky winner from our last session, and that random lucky winner was Jessie Tramontana 5598. And Jessie wins a $25 gift card, coupon code, whatever it may be, to my website. So Jesse, if you are here, congratulations. Well, even if you're not here, congratulations. But I have replied to your comment, and so you have instructions in that comment letting you know what to do to claim your prize. All right, friends. Okay, I have missed loads of things. I have missed loads of things in the chat. I just saw Heather said, I love that you call it after party. So fun. Right. Well, it is an after party, right? It's an after party. Oh, yes. If, as I was kind of going through that spiel, if you left a comment and in the chat and I missed it and you'd like me to see it, once I flip the camera and we kind of start going, it's a lot easier for me to see comments. But I'm one of those people that can't walk and chew gum at the same time. So I have to talk to you this way and I can't read those little things there. And it's hard to look off to the side because then I lose my train of thought. So if I miss something that you want me to see in the chat, retype it, put it in all uppercase. Sometimes that helps me to see it. If you have questions, obviously I will answer them, but Amy is super helpful in answering too. And then even a bunch of you have been here for a long time. So sometimes you guys even answer, which I love as well. So thank you. All righty. Oh yes, super important. Let's just get that right off the bat. Hit the like button, right? Thumbs up. That is the easiest, one of the best things that you can do to support any content creator, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or Jib, I don't know, all the things, right? Reels, whatever all the things are. Thumbs up, because that shows interaction and the algorithms like that, right? Stupid algorithms. But thumbs up, that's so easy for you to do to support. So if we can like smash all those thumbs up, that would be awesome. I'd appreciate it. I would appreciate it. Okay, friends. I think we're just about ready to flip the camera. The very first thing I want to talk about, because there have been loads of questions about it, there continue to be a lot of questions about it, something that I launched a week ago Sunday called Season Pass. Now, it may seem like the worst time of year, and actually it is the worst time of year to launch a brand new program like that because people are checked out, they're with family and friends and holidays, and but I needed to launch it then because it's replacing a program that I've had for 7 years, and that is the bi-monthly Traveler's Notebook Kit. So, Season Pass, if you have not heard about it, I did last Sunday, I did a live where I explained the whole, kind of my whole intent, my whole thought process behind it. But Season Pass is a brand new program. It is a kit, and it's not a project kit. It is a kit that is full with all Lael by Mail exclusives, paper, stickers, die cut, stamp. But the whole idea behind it is that it's seasonal. So a season pass, if you think about a season pass, it's a quarterly program. The first quarter is winter, spring. So everything that you have in that little kit is for winter and spring. One of the things I talked about when I launched that on Sunday was that it is a nice it is a broad selection of product. And when I say broad, I mean that it covers January, February, March, so it covers 3 seasons, and it gives you a smaller amount of product for each season, as opposed to having a really deep, right? A lot of the scrapbooking manufacturers, paper manufacturers that we're familiar with, release things very deep. So you might end up with a whole collection surrounding, let's say, Valentine's Day. And you might be like, okay, that's a lot. I don't need to document. I like love. I don't have a lot of love that I need to document. So I just need a little bit. So that's what this whole program is about. Broad versus deep. I will be using this product kit. It's not product kit in a number of different ways. And I'll rotate the camera now and then we'll kind of take a look at it a little bit better. Rotating the camera. All right, we've rotated. I'll be using this product kit in a couple of different ways. Thank you, Colleen. Plugging in now. All right, whoopsie. We don't need to look at my feet and my slippers. Let's get us plugged in. There we go. Thank you. All right. So I'll be using this product kit in a couple of different ways. I will be using it every month to decorate my traveler's notebook, okay? So I have, for the last 7 years, been decorating my traveler's notebook on a monthly basis, all right? So I switch it up every month, but let me just show these to you really quick. Pardon my reach. Pardon my reach. Here's an example of what I did for the month of January. So I am using the product in the product kit to, first of all, decorate my traveler's notebook. All right, so I do that for each month. So in that kit, you have all of the product to decorate for 3 months, for January, for February, and for March. Now, I will also be using the products at least once a month, if not more. So for at least one list for each month, for each season, if you will, during our Saturday sessions. So one of the questions I've had for years is, Lael, would be really nice if we could just buy a kit, and then we'd have a lot of the product all put together that you use on Saturdays. So that is also where this will come into play. So just very quickly, everything in here is exclusive. My own paper, die cuts, stamps, stickers, and so forth. So all designed around really the 3 seasons in the first 3 months of the year. Kind of winter, love, and then spring. So lots of fun things, different size papers, 12 by 12 papers. You have 6 by 8 papers. So those of you that are maybe decorating your traveler's notebook pockets like I do, you have some little 3 by 4 cards, solids on the back. But you also have 8.5 by 11 papers, because this is usually what we start with, something like this, when we are starting to make our list. So lots and lots of thought. I've been in the industry in one way or another for 27 years. So lots of thought for me went into putting the product kit together, kind of the whole concept of season pass together, based on kind of being a memory keeper, documenter, storyteller, scrapbooker, whatever it may be for those last 27 years. So I just showed you the paper. There's stamps and die cuts, everything that goes along with that. And Amy has linked that in the chat, but it is also linked in the description box of the video and also linked under the what I am using. So I wanted to show that to you today in case you have not seen that. There is, when you go to that product on the website, that product page on the website, you will see the video from last Sunday where I kind of really talked about everything in depth and showed everything. So you kind of get a better feel for that program. A couple of questions that have come up. There is a very lengthy frequently asked questions blog post that is also linked from that product page on the website. So that's a good spot to start if you have questions. You can always email me as well. Go to Lael by Mail and click contact us, and I will answer any questions that you have about that. Couple questions. Number one, will it be that same design style every quarter, every season? It will not be, because that's not, you guys, that's not how I document, right? I don't want the same style for all 12 months of the year. That is not my personal style. So if I am making product, creating product, I might as well switch things up, because that's how I like to craft. So for each season, each quarter of the year, that design style will totally change, but the components will stay the same. So you'll always have the 12 by 12 papers, the 8.5 by 11, the 6 by 8, the die cuts, the stickers, the stamps, and so forth. Also, all comes packed in one of my little craft storage pouches. So that's one of the big questions. Will the style stay the same? The second question is, can you buy an annual season pass? And yes, you can. So there is the option to purchase an annual season pass. And you won't see that on the website, but you email me and I can set you up on that. So laelbymail@gmail.com, or go to contact us and say you'd like the season pass. The season pass, you are buying all 4 seasons, okay? And when you do that, you are getting a 15% discount, but you're buying all 4 seasons up front. So that is how that season pass works. Okay, so lots and lots of excitement going on around that season pass. And you will see me continue to use that through March, right? Until the end of March. And then I will start using the next season pass, which is well underway. The design of that is well underway. You will also see some members of the design team start working with that product as well. So this week, I think on Tuesday. I think Tuesday. Those people in the design team that said they wanted to work with the product, we got their packages up on Tuesday. So in January, probably starting about mid-January, you will see the design team starting to produce different samples of how they're using the product in the season pass kit, and then you'll also see me start to produce some additional samples as well. Okay, friends. Oh, Kathy, thank you. Kathy said, hi, Lael. I got my season pass 2 days ago, and you have hit it out of the park again. It is amazing. Thank you, Kathy, so much. I tell you guys, that's a scary thing to do. You are like really putting yourself out there. Now, this isn't the first time I've designed and released my own product, right? I've done traveler's notebooks, I've done inserts, but this one, I don't know, was a really personal one. And everything, I've had the best feedback except for one person. And I'd love to say, you say, oh, don't ignore the one, focus on all the positives, but one person, and I just wanted to throat punch the person because anyhow, but we're not going to dwell on that. So thank you. I appreciate all of the kind words that you guys are saying about that season pass. It's been really fun. And Heather said, can't wait to see what the design team creates with it. Heather, same. I agree with it. Zen Girls said, where do we see the samples later in January? So there will be 3 classes that go along with that product kit. And those 3 classes will be centered around setting up your traveler's notebook for the months of January, February, March. So you'll see those samples on the website right now, those three setups. But you will continue to see the different samples that I do and the design team does. So people that purchase, because it's not a subscription at all, but people that purchase the season pass on a monthly basis, you'll receive an email saying, hey, here are all of the inspiration pieces for the month or for that particular season. But you'll also see them on the product page as well. All right. More questions. I'm going to move on. So if you have any more questions about season pass, shoot me an email. Go to laelbymail.com and click on contact us. Okay. Thank you. I'm just going to read one more thing. Louisa said, Lael, I can't imagine how much time went into creating season pass. You really thought things through designing this. It was a lot, Louisa, and it was in a very compressed time frame. I appreciate your kind words. This one was in a very compressed time frame, so that made it all the more, a little bit more emotional. And yeah, just ask Nick and Amy. All right, friends. So let's take a look at our list that we did when we were together last week. So last week we did 3 lists. We did, our first one that we did was called More and Less. And this list was inspired by a project that one of our design team members, Susanna Lee, did. She had done something very similar to this, focusing on things that she wanted to do more of and less of this holiday season. And it wasn't really, I want to do less watching TV and I want to do more walking. It was more really focusing on like some things that would, like mental health things. And I'm not putting that, I'm not saying those words for her. I'm probably more maybe putting those words for me in terms of how I did my list. So this list, we used the Evergreen Season collection from 49 to Market, and we used a brand new product, not my product, but a brand new product that I had to bring into the website because I think it's so amazing. This is tip-in tape. So we did a little tip-in. So we're going to do another tip-in today where we'll use that same tape because it's kind of fun. So we used Evergreen Season and we used the Opposites Attract stamp set. So that was our first list. Our second list was a to-do list. Susan, I saw your question. I will answer that. I will answer that momentarily. All right, so to-do list. So this time of year, well, we did this on the 21st of December, so still lots of things to do. But every couple of times a year, I like to take a to-do list that I have and actually put it in my Traveler's Notebook insert and make it cute, right? because this is very much a time capsule. A lot of the lists that we do when we are together, we are creating mini time capsules. So this is a time capsule or a snapshot of a very specific point in time, right? It is right before Christmas, and it's right before Christmas 2024. If I had been keeping my to-do lists for the last 25 years, let's say, the things that I would be doing, things that are on my to-do list in 2024 would probably be very different from the things on my to-do list Christmas time back in 1991, right? Totally different things. So I think it's always fun to do like a little mini time capsule like that and put it into your traveler's notebook. Sometimes we'll even do grocery lists because the same thing, it is very much a snapshot in time, very much a time capsule. And we used Simple Vintage Holly Jolly on that one with the, I don't remember what that one is called. Remember what that stamp set is called? To-do list? No, I don't remember. Anyhow, we'll move on. Next one, this guy. I was so excited about introducing this concept. This list that we started, and then I finished the second page later, we introduced a concept called glimmers. So glimmers are basically things that are a little happy or joyous or peaceful or different kind of everyday moments that just appear. So seeing a rainbow, or maybe having your cat just snuggle up in your lap, or your dog giving you a lick on the face. I don't know if that's a glimmer. But receiving a text from a friend, or having somebody compliment you, really anything like that. But basically just something that gives you a little glimmer, right? Just a little nice little glimmer. I had shared this last week, and I think we popped this into the Facebook group, a photo of this, or screenshot. Well, you know what I mean, JPEG. Today I learned about a term called a glimmer, which is the opposite of a trigger. Glimmers are those moments in your day that make you feel joy, happiness, peace, or gratitude. Once you train your brain to be on the lookout for glimmers, these tiny moments will appear more and more. My dear friend Sherry, that we were in sorority sisters, I've known since 1986, and we are still very dear friends. She introduced this to me a couple weeks ago, the whole concept of a glimmer, and I'm like, I love that. I love that. So last Saturday, we did our first glimmer list. And I will tell you, this is not the last glimmer list that we're going to be doing, friends. We will continue to do those into 2025 and beyond. Just because for me, I think that is a great, that's something that I think will help me. I think that something will help my mental health to be focused on things like this. What that little piece that I read you said, once you train your mind to start watching for those things, you start seeing them more and more, right? So I don't know about you, but I could always use glimmers in my life. So there is I'll give you a little, not a sneak peek, but I will give you kind of a little idea of what's to come. There is a brand new Glimmers stamp set that will be releasing mid-January with the January stamp release. So stay tuned for that because it's a lot of fun. All right, so I used the Sugar Plum collection from Pretty Little Studio, and I used the Poe Alpha stamp set. And together we did the left side, but I still had more glimmers. So after we were done, I put together a right side to go with that. Louisa, I love that. Louisa said, I watched the replay from last Saturday. I really enjoyed how this list came together and the stories. I cried. Oh, I love that. I mean, not that you cried, but I love that. Heather said she shared the Glimmers article with my friends and family. I love it so much. I did last week. So if you go to the blog at laelbymail.com and look at the blog post for the 21st of December. It was our listing one. I did include a link to a fabulous article, really taking a deep dive into kind of the whole concept of glimmers and what they are. And that was a concept introduced, I don't know how long ago, but a woman by the name of Deb Dana. And I just think it's just one of those things that young and old, right? All of us can use a little bit of kind of joy, everyday moments, everyday little glimmers or sparkles in our life. Thank you, Amy. Amy just linked that. She linked that blog post, so you can take a look at that article. So those were the 3 lists that we did when we were together last week on the 21st. All right, so starting out, we are going to do our first list is about holiday highlights. All right, holiday highlights. Now, this will be very different for me personally than a list that we do next week, which is about last month for the month of December. Holiday highlights are some things that I just really enjoyed that were very special. Right, kind of the day before Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. All right, so very, very, very focused for me on a couple things that happened those 2 days, really 24th and then the 25th. So holiday highlights. It doesn't really matter what holiday it is for you. Maybe Christmas isn't your thing. Maybe you're Jewish and it's Hanukkah. Maybe it's Kwanzaa. Maybe it's Festivus. Maybe you really, really, really dislike Christmas. So for you, maybe it's Halloween highlights or whatever it may be. But for me, the one I'm going to do is kind of holiday Christmas highlights. All right, so this is going to be a 2-page list. I am using a lot of the product that you see in front of me, and this is Vicki's Wrapped in Ribbons collection. So her Wrapped in Ribbons Christmas collection. We did use this a couple weeks ago on our What a Day spread. So we did a little What a Day spread from the 12th, where I just kind of listed things that I did on the 12th, but we used a number of products from Wrapped in Ribbon. So this is going to be, well, the second to the last holiday list, I guess I should say, because we'll do holiday highlights today. And then next week when we're together on the 4th, we will do about last month for the month of December. And then the Christmas holiday season is done for me. Putting it away, won't work on holiday anymore. When I started out, you may have noticed that I still had my Christmas decorations behind me. That is the only place in our house the Christmas decorations are still up. I'm one of those that it's like, okay, Christmas is over and it's time to put everything away and kind of start fresh. So we'll kind of do that in our traveler's notebooks as well. At least I will. All right, so this will be a 2-page list. I kind of at the last minute this morning kind of changed my thought process and how I wanted to do this, but I'm still using Wrapped in Ribbons. So I need a base. So I need a left page and a right page. And I think I pulled out some papers that I thought might be fun to work with. And these are from Vicki's Wrapped in Ribbons 6x8 paper pad. So I could use those guys would coordinate very well together. I could use those. Totally different look though, right? When you look at those two together, super playful because of those little guys. So when we go over here, a little bit more traditional, right? I think I'll probably go with this guy, and then I'll work in a lot of the fun, little guys there. So let's get our trimmer out and trim those pieces. So when I'm doing my listing, I am working in a traveler's notebook. All right, I'm working in a standard wide traveler's notebook, and that's what you see here. Standard wide is 5 by 8.25. A regular standard is 4.33 by 8.25. So it's just narrower. You have standard and standard wide. I prefer wide because it gives me on a full spread about another 1.5 inches to work with, which when you're working in a small format like this is that's a lot, right? That's a lot. So that's what I use, but you use whatever you'd like. If you have a planner, if you have a composition notebook, if you have a spiral notebook, whatever it is that you're working with, I always say you do you. So whatever works for you, but I like to use a traveler's notebook. I predominantly am using 6x8 papers when I am working in a traveler's notebook because number one, the pattern is scaled down. So if I was looking at this exact same pattern, but in a 12x12, all those little branches would be larger because it would be a larger piece, right? So when you're working typically in a smaller size, like a 6x8 or 6x6, the manufacturer has scaled that pattern down. So you kind of see more of that pattern in a smaller space. That's the first thing. The second thing is I use 6x8 because we have very little waste, right? If I'm using a standard wide insert, which is 5x8.25, and I'm working with a 6x8 here, really I need to just chop a little piece off and I'm off and running. So when I am creating a base on my page, I usually trim to 4 3/4 wide. The reason I trim to a 4 3/4 wide is because it gives me a little bit of a white border all the way around. Gives me a little bit of a white border all the way around. All right, so we'll do the same thing over here and trim this guy to 4 3/4, like that. And let me get this guy off to the side. We'll use him in a second. We'll talk about him in a second. All right, now I need to round my outside corners. I like to round my outside corners because the pages of my insert rounded corners. All right, so this will be my left facing page, and this will be my right facing page. Now, as I work on these, I am going to work on my lists. I call this working off the page. There is another list that I will be working directly on the insert. But if I can work off the page, it makes it a little bit easier as opposed to right now adhering my pieces and then working in that insert. So we'll put this little guy off to the side for a second. Oh, I want this to be in view in a moment too. All right. I need some white cardstock. So let's grab the white cardstock. I like to use a Neenah Bright White. It is flat, no texture, but it is a Neenah Bright White. This I buy by like 500 ream on Amazon because I use it pretty much for everything I do. But I have broken them down into smaller packs. You can get a pack of 25 on the website if you're looking for a good basic white cardstock. Oh, one more thing. I also need oh, here we go. All right, I need some alpha stickers because on this guy I'm going to use alpha stickers. All right, so normally what you see me do when I am working on a list like this is you see me cut a white piece of paper. And that white piece of paper is what I am doing my list on. I'm not going to do that in this case. I'm actually going to do a little bit of stamping and die cutting. So I am going to use my backs to you for a second, the In the Circle stamp and die set. In the Circle stamp, In the Circle die. This stamp and die set was inspired by a project that one of the design team members did, Laura Lee. Laura Lee Murphy did that. I'm very excited to share. Those of you that love Laura Lee, she took a little hiatus from the design team and she is going to start designing with my products again. So in January, very excited about that. She's just amazingly talented and just love everything that she does. So let me show you a project that we did recently within the Circle, so you can kind of get a little bit of a feel for it. Let's see. In the Circle. Oh, here we go. So that was using the In the Circle stamp and die set. In the Circle. All right. So I'm going to do something similar, but a little bit different with my list today. We are going to stamp circles. And I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 6 circles. I'm going to stamp them in a color. A color. Yes, of course, Lael. Of course you're going to stamp them in a color. I am going to stamp them. I think the ones on this page I will stamp in a red, and the ones on this page I will stamp in a green. So let's look at Who's here? Lumberjack plaid, fired brick. Hi, Lusky.
Hey, Mama.
What are you doing?
You coming to clean my car?
Oh, yes, Dad will be so happy. Okay, all right. Okay.
Hi, friends.
Sammy, little Sammy Lusky. Samba Lusky, that's what I call him, Lusky. I know. Lusky. Well, here's the deal. So when Sam was little, we called him Sammy and Sam and Sambaloo, and then I started calling him Sambalooski when he was little, and then I kind of shortened that to Lusky, and then now I call him Lou, and that's not his favorite thing, but I say, guess what? I'm your mother, and I can call you whatever I want. What?
Where's Dad?
Dad's skiing. Why?
Where's the stuff for the carpet cleaner?
I don't know. Call him.
Dad.
Call him.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm kind of busy.
No,
Sorry, guys. Gotta be a mom.
I'm closing the door.
Okay, thank you.
I
Love you too. Bye. Oh my gosh. Well, you know, that's real life, friends. All right. I think we'll do lumberjack plaid on this side, and then over here on this side, let's go with rustic wilderness, maybe? Rustic wilderness is kind of that darker color. So we said lumberjack plaid. I think that's what it's going to be. Rustic wilderness. All right, let's go with lumberjack plaid and rustic wilderness. I'm pulling those out back here. So lumberjack plaid is right there. And rustic wilderness. I'm so glad I have to have those easily at hand for you, because you can't wait forever while I try to find those. That means that I get to stay organized, right? Hello, Kim Pope. Nice to see you. It's been a while, hasn't it? It has been a while. All right, so let's get our stamping block out. Oh, I just remembered. Okay, hang tight. Hang tight. I forgot to wet my stamp chamois. So, hold please. Hold please. Gotta wet the stamp chamois. Okay, I'm back. Need to wet the stamp chamois so we'll be able to clean our stamps after we ink them up. Okay. Stamping block. So let's see. I think we'll probably go with that stamping block. Oop, we can put that away now. This stamping block for our In the Circle stamp set. Yes.
I'm going to close this again because it's going to be a little noisy with me bringing the carpet cleaner out.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. There we go. We're using In the Circle. Let's see how that does on our stamping block. Right there. All right. Which stamp chamois? So Zen Girls, stamp chamois is, Amy has just linked that in the description or in the chat, but that is Lawn Fawn, and I have those on the website. Also used or linked in what I'm using. All right, so pretty much you will always find links to everything I'm using on that page on my website that is linked in the description box of the video. All right, so inking that guy up, and let's just, I think I need 3 of these. 1, oh, love it. So that is not meant to be a straight circle, okay? It's supposed to be skimwampus, right? It's actually a lot harder to make a skimwampus circle than you think it is. It is much easier to make a I don't know, a full circle, a non-skimwampus circle. I don't know what you call that. Pam, possibly make a large circle acrylic stamp block to fit this. Oh, okay. So guess what? Amy, we have another circle stamp coming up. Totally different, but I think that we could possibly do that. So Amy, will you make, thank you. Yes, I love it. You guys, you should always ask. Thank you for asking, Pam. If there are things that you feel like you would like to have, please ask. Sometimes they can happen, sometimes they can't. But always love the suggestions. So yeah, that I think that is a great idea, Pam. That could go really well with a stamp that we have, a new stamp and die that we have coming out in March. Love it, love it, love it. Yes, a circle. So I have a number of my own Lail by Mail stamping blocks. Actually, 5, right? We have the stamping stylus. We have the little round 1.625. We have the little shorties. Oh, and then this is the latest new one. This little guy. All right. So we were 3 there, and now you notice I just cleaned that off. I need to talk about that really quickly. So I cleaned it off, right? Because I'm going to go to green now, but I cleaned it off. And then you also saw me dry it. That is really, really, really important. Number one, that you clean off between colors, but it's really important that you also dry between colors. And this is why. I am using Distressed Oxide. That is a hybrid ink. So it's part pigment and part dye. Your pigment inks are are blendable, okay? So they are water reactive. So if I don't fully clean and then dry is important, dry that stamp after I cleaned it, when I go to start stamping with the next color, if there's any kind of moisture on that stamp at all, that ink may react, the pigment may react and change the color of the ink. Now, here's the deal. It's not gonna change the red to purple, it's not going to change the green to purple, or really the red to purple, but you'll start to do some weird things where you may see, I tend to notice this a little bit more in the blues, like the lighter blues, where you'll have a little bit of kind of green come through when it's not completely dry. All right, so important to clean in between colors, also dry very well between colors. Those are some of the things that if you are not necessarily a stamper, or you like stamps, but you don't necessarily love to stamp, some of those tips are super helpful. The other thing is, I like to call it right sizing your stamping block, okay? Right sizing. So with your stamping block, when you're stamping, I think it's really important to have a variety of different sizes of stamping blocks. Because if you only have one stamping block, that means you have to go with the lowest common denominator. You have to have a giant stamping block to fit your largest stamp, right? Which is great for your largest stamp, but when you are working with a small stamp, let's say my largest stamp is this size, and I am working with maybe a little teeny, let's say I'm working with that like little teeny heart, or even that little teeny camera on there. It can make it really difficult when you're working on a large stamping block, because trying to get it, get nice even impression without rocking one way or the other. When you rock, it generally spreads out the part of the stamp that you're rocking on. It makes it look a little bit thicker or blurrier. So if you can have an assortment of stamping blocks in your kind of array of tools, that's one of those things I find that just makes the stamping all easier. I've not always been a stamper. I kind of really started getting into stamping right at the very beginning of the pandemic. That didn't mean I wasn't a stamp collector. And I don't mean like, stamps like you mail things, stamps. I mean like, stamps like this. Didn't mean I wasn't a stamp collector. Just meant that I didn't really use them because I didn't really know how. So lots of the things that I am sharing, they're just things I've kind of learned along the way. Little tips and tricks that make life easier for me. All right, so now we have stamped, we've stamped our circles. One of the things on the stamp you may have noticed, do you see that little circle at the top of that stamp? That is there for one very specific purpose. So you know where the top of the stamp is meant to be, all right? And that comes into play when it comes with the die. So, or when you're using the die with the stamp. That's just kind of a nice little orientation so you know where the top is. So I was able to stamp in the same place every time. Now, when we were together before, I had when we used this last, I had, hang on. I'm going to redo this because I had marked this on my die of where the top was. Hang on, let me look at here. Of where the top was. All right, I think we're here. So that I could easily place my, that's not it. So that I could easily place, hang on, I'm gonna find it. That's not it either. I should have done this ahead of time, guys. Apologies. We had done it last time, but then I lost, I used a Sharpie and not a better pen to do this. So what I'm doing here is I'm moving this around, figuring out exactly where that die is supposed to go. That's the flat side. It should be right here, right? Nope. All right. Hold on. We'll get it. Eventually we'll get it. We're just going to rotate it 360 degrees until we find it. And then I'm going to show you how you don't have to do this next time because it will be exactly where you need it to be. There we go. All right. That's our spot. So I am going to put a little mark right there on my die. All right. So now we know where the top of our stamp is. And now that I've marked that on my die, then I always can put that right in the same place, and that's where we go together. Because it's not a perfect circle, it's not meant to be a perfect circle, I need to make sure I know where that is. It'll make my life a lot easier, right? So every time I'm not trying to re-find that. All right, so let's bring in our little die machine here. Whoopsie, I just threw that on there, hold on. There we go. I'm going to show you what I just put that on in a second. Once we get these pieces out, I need to trim these little guys here really quick. Where did I use my trimmer? Oh, it's over here. All right. Trim these guys, and I'm not going to trim all of them. I'm just going to basically trim 2 rows or 2 columns, not rows, like that. And we'll get rid of this excess here. Now, I wasted a lot of paper there. It would have made it a lot easier if I had done it differently, but I did it this way. Not easier, but basically, I wanted to put these together like this, and I'll show you why. When it comes to my die cutting, I can just kind of keep working with them. All right, get this out of the way. All right, so I have my little Anna Griffin Empress Mini. My little Anna Griffin Empress Mini. It is an automated machine. Basically, I put the plates in and it runs it through, as opposed to a manual where you have to crank it through. Basically the same thing, right? All die cutting machines pretty much do the same thing. They are applying a lot of pressure to whatever you're putting in there so that that metal die is cutting through the paper. All right. So let's get our sandwich ready. My sandwich is going to consist of a number of plates. There is plate A in this machine. And then I'm going to do that. I think making a sandwich with my die is almost like making I don't know, let's say a bologna sandwich. Because when you make a bologna sandwich when you're a little kid, right? I haven't had a bologna sandwich in years, but when you make a bologna sandwich when you're a little kid, you're starting with the really squishy white Wonder Bread on the bottom, which is your bottom plate. Then you have the die, or excuse me, the magnetic plate. So my magnetic plate in this situation is going to be my bologna, all right, on my bologna sandwich. Then I have my stamped image. My stamped image is going to be the cheese. And then my die is going to be, I don't know, the lettuce. And then there's my second piece of bread. So I just made a little die sandwich there. My power's on. I'm going to take those plates, that sandwich, start here and click run. You heard that kind of that little click? That was the pressure being applied to that die, And it is going to just cut out my little circle right like that. All right. So I'm going to do that again for all three. There are a couple of things I'm using here. These finally came in. This is called a magnetic die storage stand. All right. So it is magnetic. It will hold your dies as you are working with them, so that sometimes you start to get a little bit of a mess and things get lost on your work surface. So that little guy will hold all of your magnetic dies as you're working. This little guy, I can't remember if I have this linked in the description box of the video or not. It is a tool for people that do nails, like cat's eyes on nails, but it's an easy way to pick up your dies. All right, so that's what I'm using. That's what I just did there. Okay, so if you are someone that likes to stamp and die, and you use similar dies and similar stamps in a lot of your work, it's not a bad idea to have a little assembly line or a little kind of process going. So let's say, kind of like I'm doing here, I'm doing all 6 at once, but if I know that I really like those circles, I might as well sit down one night and start binge watching a program on TV and stamp a bunch of circles and die cut a bunch of circles. So that way I can have them ready the next time I want to work on them, right? So I don't have to every time get out my dies again, get out my stamps again. Oh, I just turned that guy upside down. All right, there we go. Put this on again. So I'm ending up with 3 little stamped circles and 3, well, the same ones. 3 stamped, 3 die cut circles for each of my, did that go? Did it go? Oh, it did. For each of my colors. 1, 2, 3. And now let's do our greens. So we know that that is the top. We have our little die here. And get that right there. Alrighty. This is the part that's kind of, this is the part that's kind of watching paint dry, right? It's kind of like watching paint dry. The spoon. So this little guy is a magnet. This guy is a magnet. Yes. All right. Let's just pop this guy out. We'll put our little, we don't even need to put our little stamp or our die on. We'll just do this right now. Okay, that looks good. We'll go 2 more times, friends, and then we will have our pieces. Someone asked me the other day, and I think I haven't responded to her yet. She said, Lael, which would you recommend, the Annette Griffin Empress or the Mini? So I actually, you guys have 3 different die cut machines that I use depending on what it's for. I always use this one when I am live because it's small. All right, this guy is small. Amy, I don't remember what it's called. I know, that little wand. I know, I don't remember what it's called. Guys, we'll share that. I don't know. I'll put it in the Facebook. We'll put it in the Facebook group later because I don't remember what that little tool is called, but it's pretty awesome for just lifting up your things. So this is what I use when if I'm teaching somewhere, I might be demoing it or doing a make and take. I take my small one. When I'm filming on camera, I use the small one just because it's small. But I use a different large one. I use the Sizzix. I don't know. It's an automated one too. I don't remember what that one's called. I also have a small manual. So it just depends on what I'm using it for. But you really don't need different size machines. It's just that I use them for different things and filming and so forth. Really, it kind of goes back to the lowest common denominator thing again. So if you have large dies, right, you have a really large die, then you want to have a larger machine, right? Because your small machine will only do so much. All right, so here we go. Now I have my little guys over here. And then I'm gonna have my little red guys over here. And I need my title. All right, so title, I thought we could work with this little holiday here. It's kind of going to blend in a little bit, which I like. Holiday, my list is holiday highlights. So what I thought I would do, since I am working on a dark surface, it might be a little bit hard to see whatever alphabet sticker I use, unless I use one that's really going to stand out and pop. And that would be a white one, okay? That would be a white one. So I'm going to pull out, maybe I should have a sip of coffee really quick. My coffee is just sitting right here on the side. I should probably move it because it could get me into trouble. Okay. Oh gosh, I love coffee. I love coffee. All right. So I pulled out letter scrambles. Letter scrambles are alphabet stickers from Bella Boulevard. I carry all, I think there are 16 colors. So I carry all 16 colors, color by color. And then also they're available in a bundle on the website. So you get all 16 colors, but you buy the bundle, you get a discount. So I am looking for white. I thought white would be fun to use because if we use white, it's totally gonna pop on that darker color. I keep pulling things in and out of storage pouches. So if you missed it, the storage pouches are back in stock. The 13 by 13 were out of stock for a couple weeks, and those are now back in stock. And those are awesome. They're awesome. Great for storing, well, all of your things, right? All right, so we got to figure out how these will be situated. We'll figure that out later. Holiday highlights. So I think what I'd like to do, if I look at that font, kind of a very basic sans serif font. When I say sans serif, well, let's just look at this for example. This is a serif font. So those little kind of feet and hats on the letters, like those little lines at the bottom of your L's, those are serifs. So serif font as opposed to a sans serif font, meaning a font without. I am going to use this uppercase font down here. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's white, but I think it will go really well with that. So let's grab our little ruler. I am using my ruler here for a couple of different reasons. Number one, here I don't have any lines. There's nothing for me to line up my stickers to make sure that they are straight. So that's the first reason I'm going to use my little 6-inch metal ruler. So before I start though, I always like to make sure that I have enough stickers. H, I, G, O, H, L, I don't have another G, but that's okay. G, I have another. Ooh, I don't have another H either. So, well, we're going to Frankenstein some letters. H, I, G. Okay, we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work, and I'll show you how. We're going to get a little creative. Instead of going downstairs and getting another sheet, I could go downstairs and get another sheet. We'll still fit. Okay. I'm lining up my letters there. We're going to Frankenstein some letters. We're going to take some other letters to help us make some letters that we don't have enough of. There's a lot of H's in this word. H-I-G-H. 3 H's. Holiday highlights. So I'm using that horizontal line to line things up. Let me just make sure we think we'll be okay. Yeah, we'll be fine. I had to make sure that we have enough room. H-I-G-H. L. Highlights. Obviously, you could figure out a different word to use if you wanted. If you didn't want to, if you were short on stickers. You could also, these are all white, so I could mix and match the different styles of letters, serif, sans serif, and so forth. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I need another G. I'm going to end up Frankensteining a letter, but what I'm going to do, I won't do that until I get that on here. So I know that is where a G needs to go. I'm going to put this guy right here so I have the spacing, right? H-I-G-H-L-I-G, and I need another one, another H. Do I have another H? I don't. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Does that make sense? How I know what space I need there, and now I'm putting these over here. We'll create those other letters in a minute. L-I-G-H-T-S. Okay. Holiday highlights. I love using white letter stickers. Pretty much the only time I use them is when I'm on something really dark. Well, darkish, right? Because it really pops then. Holiday highlights. So for me, these are just some things that really stood out over the, they stood out over Christmas Eve and Christmas for me. Holiday highlights. So I mentioned there were two different reasons I use the ruler this way. Number one, so my letters are straight, but number two, so I can find the placement, right? I can move this around. They're sticking to the ruler, not the paper. So I can move this around. I can go horizontal. I can go vertical. I can move it around until it looks even. That looks pretty good. So we're pretty much even left to right. Now I'm going to press down on the top of those letters and peel that ruler out from underneath. Now I have all of my letters nice and straight and then even left to right. Now we need to deal with our missing G and H. So I am going to take, sometimes if I had an extra C, I could make a G, but I don't have a C. So I am going to take an O. I'm going to take an O, and what I want to do is I'll kind of lay it here. There's my O. So I need to cut it, looks like about right there, and cut it about right there. All right, so now it's kind of a C, right? We're going to place this guy right here. And we can kind of take this little piece that I cut out, straighten it out so it's a little bit curved, but it'll be okay. I cut off the little curved edges, and let's just put this right here like this. Look at that. No one's ever gonna know. There is a G that we just Frankensteined out of an O. You could do that with the C as well, right? All right, so now I need another H, and I do not have another H. So what if we use an N? Can we make an N work for an H? I think we can. So we're going to, hang on, let me try to hold this way. My fingers get in the way. All right, so we're going to do this. I could also do this out of an I, right? But then I'd need two I's. I could do it out of an L as well, but I need two L's. All right, so let's take our little one leg of the H, the second leg of the H, and we should be able to just cut that center part out. See if that will work. Is it wide enough? It may not quite be wide enough for us. Let's look. Look at that. It works. All right, so there we go. I just Frankensteined two letters. Now, if that's a pain for you, then don't do it. Just go buy another sticker sheet or use a different alphabet that you do have enough letters of, or just start to mix and match, right? Mix and match cases, mix and match fonts. It doesn't really matter. But that one had a lot of H's. It had 3 H's. Okay, but always good to double check to see what letters you have before you get started, because sometimes it would be very difficult to create a letter based on something that you don't have. Now, I just looked at the back of this. This is a sticker. It's a washi sticker. So what I know about a washi sticker, if I put that down, I think it is going to blend. I have 2 of these, so let's just see. These are from the Paperie from Wrapped in Ribbons. So Paperie, so it's a washi sticker. So a little bit more transparent, a little bit more translucent. All right, so let's see what happens when I put this down. It might actually work really well for us. Let's see. I'm going to just peel part of it away. It'll be a little bit easier to work with. All right, so here's the thing. It is really pretty. You kind of lose, oh well, we'll do it anyway. You kind of lose the whiteness, right? I mean, you can still see it, but because it's a washi sticker, what was making it so white and vibrant was really that backing, right? So what I was going to do, and it would probably work, this wouldn't get handled a bunch. I could probably just leave that sticker on there and then put maybe my adhesive on the back. We could try that. Franken letters, there we go, Franken letters. All right, holiday highlights. So now I have my kind of 3 here. They're gonna be a little bit squished on this side, and then we'll be a little bit less squished on this side. All right, so we have lots of little fun die cuts and elements in front of me here. So what I would like to do is see what I might like to use as I'm kind of decorating. I have a little bit more room on this side, so I could use something large like that. That is not from the Paperie. That bow is on a piece of acetate, and that is from the Wrapped in Ribbons specialty pack, I think it's called. We could try that. But there are also bows in the Wrapped in Ribbons ephemera, icon ephemera. So Lindsay said, "Ooh, you should make those circles into ornaments." Yes, we totally could, right? Because you kind of have that same look here. So if I wanted to make those circles into ornaments, I could, I'd have to figure out, I could use some black cardstock or something. I don't think you'd really see the black lines to be able to notice that as much. Although we could kind of do something like that. I don't know, we could kind of do a little bit of layering like that. We've used these. I've used these guys a couple times. I love those. They're so fun. So we need to do something maybe like this over here. We could do that. That would be fun. I like it. I like it. Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll have it hanging from the T. All right. So we have some more icons that we kind of need to work in here. So what if we did, this guy's pretty big, although this guy could just fill in some more space for us, right? Could just fill in a little bit more space. We have this guy. I think this guy's going to be way too big for us to work with. Unless we kind of just start popping some things in like that. And then maybe this guy goes over here. You know what? This is going to be, it's going to be busy, but it's okay. I think it's all right if it's busy. But I like kind of having all of that stuff in there. So going with pretty neutral background papers in order to have some of these things really pop. Ooh, we've got some bigger pieces here. What if we do this? What if this guy comes over here? Although we've got a lot of red on there now. I feel like we need a little bit less red. Maybe not. No, I don't like that guy there. I'd really like to use him, but I don't really like him in there. What about this little guy over here? A little bit larger. Let me lift that up. It's kind of a shopping bag. Yes, we don't like him right there. The reason I don't like him right there, a number of reasons. Number one, he's too vertical with this guy, and now he's too horizontal with this guy. All right, so we'll get rid of him and figure out if maybe, ooh, what about this? What about this guy in here somewhere? And then we just have one more little thing that we can add right here, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like we're quite there yet. We're not quite there yet. Just because we've got a lot going on over here. There's a lot going on over here. Maybe I just need to not have so much going on, and that helps it. Maybe. And we just need a little something over here. Nope, that's not it. All right, we're gonna go this route. We'll figure out something to go down here. All right, we're going to figure out something to go down there. All right, move this over here a little bit, have those guys there. Okay, I'm going to pull out a roll of highlighter tape. Okay, hold on. Let's see. The gold star on the red page. Gold star on the red page. Gold star, where'd my gold star go? Oh, this guy, this gold star. I was looking for a black one. Gold star on the red page. That? Maybe? I think that works. Sure, why not? And then we'll still figure out something else to go down here. Okay, so I have pulled out highlighter tape. Highlighter tape is going to be very helpful for what we're doing right now. When you have things down pretty much where you think you want them, my biggest challenge is then to figure out, okay, so now how am I going to pick those all back up and get them all back in the same place where I want them, right? How am I going to do that? So if I use highlighter tape, I can basically create one die cut. I'm going to create one die cut out of all of that. So I'll be able to pick it up as one. And that's really connecting it with highlighter tape. So highlighter tape is a removable, repositionable, reusable. You notice I just pulled the pieces off of the tape dispenser, not off of the roll. That's because I use these and use them and use them and use them and use them, reuse them because they're repositionable and removable. So what I'm doing here, you'll notice I am laying a couple of pieces on top of all of these things so that they're all connected, right? Those pieces are keeping everything there connected so that when I lift that up, I'm now lifting it up as one piece instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the placement that I want it to be. And I've lifted them up as one piece. All right, there's my single piece. So now I can take my tape runner, my adhesive, and I'm going to come back to that one in a minute. Apply my adhesive to all of these pieces as one. Now that guy is vellum. So with vellum, instead of using my tape runner, I'm going to come in and use a glue dot. A glue dot should be a little bit less conspicuous on that vellum. So let's get that right there. And I can pick this back up now in one piece. Oopsie, look what I did over there. Oh, well. I can pick that back up in one piece and lay that down where we want it. And now I just come back in and lift up that repositionable tape. So you'll notice as I lift that off, it hasn't lifted any of the ink. It's not lifting any of the paper. It's because it's designed to be used with really thin paper, like a textbook or a magazine or maybe a Bible or something like that. Like if you were in school and you're highlighting passages or something like that. So that's a pretty awesome tool. Amy's linked that in the chat, but you'll also find it in the description box of the video under what I'm using. All right, now we got to come back and kind of get this little guy fixed up again, since I had him laid out where I wanted it to be, didn't I? And then they just kind of moved on me. All right, so now let's do that again. Come back in, and I just need to make sure that all of the pieces are attached somehow, right? Oh, it's warm in here. It is warm, toasty, toasty, roasty, roasty. All right, I think I'll just connect these two also, just to give it a little bit more help. Carrie said she used it when she taught kindergarten. This tape, yeah, it's pretty awesome. I know, genius. So this is one of the, Amy, my Robin, brings all kinds of things to me. She's like, oh, you should carry this. This is amazing. Oh, you should carry this. This is really awesome. And this is one of those. This highlighter tape. We're going to use another tape here in a minute. Let's get this little guy, oops, ready for another one. We're gonna put that guy. So you'll notice when I am using, this guy is acetate, so it's kind of a little bit clear. And that was vellum, so it was a little bit cloudy, but still you could kind of see underneath it. I'm strategically placing my glue dots in places maybe where you won't necessarily see them. So I placed that one in the center, and I'm placing this one kind of right where that bow is tied. All right, now I can pick this guy up in one piece and come back and place it where I would like it to be. Okay, and then we'll just pull out those little pieces again. So, and then like I said, I just put them right back on there. This thing has lasted me forever because I don't often have to pull new tape. Every once in a while it gets a little dusty. Like, you know, it'll get just kind of like lint or whatever on the back of it. And I'm like, okay, it's done. Time to pull a new piece. But it's kind of it's the tape that keeps on giving, like the Energizer Bunny. Okay, so here we go. Now we are ready-ish. Ooh, you know what? I need another little glue dot under this guy because that little tail, since I just put a glue dot right there, it's a little bit loose. I don't want it to be loose. All right, there we go. That guy you can see a little bit more. Oop, and you can also see a little bit. So if I were to have done that again, hang on. Now that's a glue dot, so it's not going to want to release as easily. That glue dot kind of has a blue tint to it. So I'm gonna pull it off. I'm going to pull it off, and maybe I can just move it a little bit. Oh no, that's a mess. Hang on. Hang on. You can see that glue dot through the clear part of that acetate. And I don't want to do that. So I don't want to use a glue dot there. What I think I'm going to, oh my goodness, I made a giant mess there, didn't I? Now I need goof off and all kinds of things. No. All right, it'll be okay. So I am going to now just take a little piece of my tape runner and put it right on, see that little piece right there? Put it just right behind that bow and you won't see it. And I need to do that over here too. If I had a really tiny glue dot, it would work. But that glue dot was too big. So it was blue and it was showing. All right, there we go. Holiday highlights. So now I need to write in the little box what my in my little circles what my holiday highlights were. So my holiday highlights, let's come over to my little workbook here. So here's my list, my little sketch of what I was doing. One of the holiday highlights was our annual Christmas photo at the Spruces. Sam couldn't join us this year. So it was just me and Nick. Now, I'll put a little something there because I didn't have enough room to basically put our and annual on the same line. So I've left a little hole, but we'll fix it. Another thing was talking to Lainey, my sister, and Gus, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, talking to Lainey, my sister, and Gus, my brother-in-law, on Christmas Eve. It was so good to hear his voice and his positive outlook. He has just finished a brutal. And when I say brutal, I mean like the most incredible brutal that you can even imagine, cancer treatment. And so It was wonderful. I mean, he's 10 days, I think he finished 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago yesterday. So that was the first time we talked to him, like personally talked to him, heard his voice prior to him starting the treatment. So that was very much a highlight, and a glimmer, and about as many positive, wonderful things that you could have in your life, at least for me at this point right now. So that was wonderful. That was a highlight. Another one was having chowder from Market Street and Caesar salad on Christmas Eve. So good. Yummy, yummy, yummy. They make the best chowder. The best, the best, best. Hello, Christine from Atlanta, Georgia. All right, next up, we have, and these are in no particular order. So we have a new Christmas Eve tradition of books and chocolate in our Christmas jammies. It was so much fun. So I will, in my December daily on the 24th, I will very much go into that. But I saw something on social media earlier this month, kind of at the beginning of December, talking about a Norwegian tradition of having books, like reading and eating chocolate on Christmas Eve. And I'm like, that sounds like a really good tradition that I think our family needs to. So I got books. I asked everyone in the family what book they wanted, and then they got to have that on Christmas Eve, and then a box of See's chocolate that we shared, and it was very, very, very good. Very good, very good. So fun new tradition. Waking up on Christmas morning. Whoopsie. Christmas morning to snow. We have not had a lot of snow yet this season, so it was a treat. A white Christmas, and it's brown again. Brown Christmas. So the mountains are getting a ton of snow. But here in the valley, we're a lot of rain, which is okay. Totally okay. And the last one, this was the coolest thing. I was telling Nick about this morning. I tell you guys, I've been, like, the last week, just super emotional. It's just a really, I don't know why. Well, I do know lots of reasons, but just super emotional. Like, basically, like, cry at the drop of a hat. And it's not necessarily a bad cry, but and if you've been with me for a while, you know I'm not a crier. I don't get emotional. So one of the highlights was I had posted this photo, the photo of Nick and I, and that's going to be part of my little list here. And one of my high school teachers, my AP History high school teacher, I posted that photo on my personal Facebook page. I have 2 high school teachers that I am friends with on Facebook, and he just left a little comment on there, and it was just such a neat, he is super influential in my life. You know, you have those teachers sometimes that are just super influential in your life, and it was just a really cool thing, because when you think, I graduated from high school, oh my goodness, almost 40 years ago. It was a glimmer, Amy. It was totally a glimmer. That is absolutely a glimmer. It was just a really neat thing, you know. It was just kind of a cool thing to have somebody, and, you know, I don't talk to him, and I don't see him, and I don't know him anymore, but to have, you know, he saw that photo, it was neat. It was kind of a little highlight. Let's see. His name was Mr. Krankle. Mr. Krankle, leaving a comment on my Xmas photo. on Facebook. He was my high school AP history teacher. That was just fun. When I saw that, I'm like, oh my goodness. I need to send him a message because that was just really cool. It just put a big smile on my face. All right, so we are close to being done, but we're not quite because there's one more thing that we're going to do. Not all of my lists have photos. One of the things that I find sometimes is that if you have to find a photo for something, especially when we're making lists, sometimes that prevents you from actually doing it. So a lot of my lists don't have photos. I'd say, I don't know, maybe 30%. I don't know. Maybe 30% of my lists have photos. But by far the majority of my lists do not have photos. But it's always fun to incorporate a photo or more on a list. And so I'm going to do that on this list once I get it added to my insert. So I'll do this guy right here. Okay. Ooh. And then we're going to do this guy on the other side. Right here. Now we're going to add the photo. So this is the photo that I referenced here, going up to the Spruces, which is an area up one of the canyons, maybe about 15 minutes away from our house. Usually we go up there. We've done this, I don't know, probably for the last 8 or 9 years, I want to say, and Christmas Eve Day. Normally we go snowshoeing. We didn't think there was enough snow, so we didn't take our snowshoes this year, but we could have done it. Once we got up there, we figured out. But we take a photo. So this year, after that many years, I finally got smart. When Nick and I went on our trip to Ireland and Scotland last year, we bought a selfie stick that had a tripod on it. So it kind of compacted to about this big, maybe 12 inches, probably not even 12 inches, but selfie stick that you could also use as a tripod. So we set the tripod up, put my phone on there, and it has a little remote so you could take your own photo. So that's the photo. That was kind of I always do every Christmas Eve. No, every Christmas Eve, I think. I don't remember. Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I send out an email, just kind of a happy holidays email. And that was the photo that went with it this year. So I printed that out. I need to, I think, maybe I know what I was going to do. Let's see. I was maybe going to incorporate this guy, but I don't know. I don't think I need to do that. I am going to, so I left a little bit of extra room there when I printed it. I'm going to trim that part off. It's just white down there. We don't need that. So let's trim that off. And now I want to add this into my little insert here. But how do I do that, right? I can't take these pages out. I can't take them out, so I need to somehow get this in. This is where I'm going to use a product I showed you guys last week called Tip-In Tape. But before I do that, I need to have a back to this. Let's see what I want to do. What would it look like? This would be on this side like this. All right, I'm going to do this. I am going to back, or I could use, let's use this one instead. All right, so I need a back side of this. Otherwise, we're just looking at Canon photo paper on the back side. So let's do that. Right like that. And we'll trim this away. And then we're going to tip in this photo. So tip in is, oops, let me get a little bit closer. A tip in is what you're doing when you are adding something into your insert. We're basically tipping it in. We can't open the rings and add a new page, right? Because there aren't any rings. So we need to tip something in. An example of this, a finished example of this would be Here, when you'll see me do this a lot in my my travel like junk journals or my travel glue books, where I am tipping in something like this, a postcard. Normally, when I do that, I'm using washi tape. Now, when you use washi tape, number one, you're trying to look for a washi that goes with what you're doing, but also you don't necessarily want the washi to kind of cover up part of your photo, right? So that is where this awesome product comes in called Tip-In Tape. This is not one of my products. It is a product that one of you recommended to me, and I bought it, and I tried it out, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So I reached out. I reached out to the individual that kind of invented this tape and said, hey, I would love to carry this on my website. Can I purchase it wholesale? And she said, of course. And I just placed another reorder because you guys really like it. I love it, but you guys really like it. I've also included it. It's one of the products included in the 2025 Year in Review Project Kit. So this is how it works. It has a removable backing on it. You can see that it's not sticking to anything, right? It has a removable backing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this to the height of whatever I am tipping in. And I need two of these. I need one for the front side and one for the back side. I like to do front and the back. I suppose you wouldn't have to, but I like to do front and back so it's nice and secure. All right, then I use that little piece that it came with just to hold it back together, right? Because I don't want that to like get all loosey-goosey and fly everywhere. Okay, so now this tape is a removable backing, but it is split. So I can remove part of it, half of it, but then it is still, the removable backing is still on the other part. So what I'm going to do here, I am going to adhere the sticky part so far onto my photo. In this case, whatever it is I am tipping in. All right, let me just flatten that out. It's PET tape. PET stands for polyethylate, some really big T word that I cannot pronounce. But it is a clear acid-free tape, so you're not going to see it. It is matte, but acid-free, so it should not affect any of your photos or any of your paper. I can tell you the date. I can tell you the date when I did that. The date when I did that was October 1st. So you should find the October 1st listing video. All right, so it is now adhered to what I'm tipping in my photo. And then I'm going to remove the other part like that. And I'm going to adhere that to what I am tipping into, right here. So let's go right like that. All right. And now I'm going to turn that page and I'm going to do the exact same thing on the back side. Like I said, I like to do the front and the back. I suppose you wouldn't have to do the back, but I've never not done the back side. And I've been doing this technique for years in my traveler's notebooks, my traveler's notebooks, because I like to include postcards and things like that in there. But like I said, I've always used washi, but I love this because it's clear. And then I'm just going to snip off that little extra. I didn't quite get it right. And then peel off that other half of the removable backing. Come on. There we go. And put that right there. All right, so now I have tipped in that case, that fun little photo. All right. Just kind of like its own little page. I went a little bit lower than I would like, but that's okay. All right, so I think the only thing left that I need to do here, I need to add the date. And actually this little space right there will work really well for the date. Let's look for a label and then a little label sticker. So, let's look. I think I might have something that would work here. Julie said, what's the benefit of tip-in tape versus washi tape to do the same job? Julie, for me, it's that it's clear. Okay, it's clear. So, especially if you have like a photo that's going right up to the edge, you are covering up part of your photo or part of your postcard or part of your letter or whatever it is, you're covering up with the washi tape. The other thing is your tip-in tape is a lot more, it's a lot stronger, whereas your washi tape, you know, washi, sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't. You can absolutely still use washi. I mean, I've used washi for years, but the tip-in tape, I just kind of, it's very unobtrusive. You don't even notice that it's there. Whereas the washi tape, you notice. So I would say that's really the difference. You can use either, you could use both. It doesn't really matter. The tip-in tape is just kind of fun. Now I will show you one more example. Where the tip-in tape, you'd really notice a difference versus washi tape. And you know me, I'm just doing my outlining here. But because I'm outlining on a photo, and then also that tip-in tape, I'm using Zig Photo Signature Marker. So that is meant to write on slick surfaces. So that won't blur on me, smear. Okay, so let me show you really quickly where you'd really notice a difference. So this is the 2025 Year in Review Project Kit. One of the products that we are using in the product kit are these little calendars. And I've used the tip-in tape there. So if I used washi there, my washi would cover up. I mean, it would end up covering up quite a bit of that decoration right there. On the back side, you know, it's clear, so it doesn't matter. But depending on what you're tipping in and the size of what you're tipping in, your washi could really end up covering up a lot of the design or a lot of the photo or whatever it may be. But washi works, totally. All right, so I'm looking for a label, and then we will wrap up this list because this one has taken a long time, right? But it's a good long time, right? There's no time frame. There should be no time frame that says what you do should only last this long, or it can last this long, but no longer, because we're playing, we're having fun, right? This little guy is going to go right there, but I am going to put this back on here. This is just a label sticker from Sugar Plum. All right, let's get our little, we have enough room? We do. Oh my gosh, this is an oldie but a goodie roller date stamp. I have not used this since 2023, clearly. So it is 12. Oh, I went the long way around. October. Oh my gosh, August. It would be December, Lil. Come on, December. This was, today is the 28th. 28th. And it is 2024. All right, now we always want to test this because, you know, always a good idea to test it. Even if you just used it last week, even if you just used your roller date stamp last week, always test it before you stamp on your project. Because you know what, even though you used it last week, maybe you were documenting something from 2022. So always a good idea to test first. 12, 28, 24. Let's see, we're a little bit not straight there. All right, I think we're good. Today is 12, 28, 24. So let's go this way. On my little label there. And we are going to cut it because I don't want the whole thing to be on there. We just kind of want that right there. I think that's good. And let's cut this excess off right here. Oopsie, not quite even. Let's do that again. Next time, cut first. All right, there we go. There is my holiday highlights list. I still need something to go right there. So let's very quickly pull out wrapped in ribbons, and we'll pull this out as I also start to put these things away. So let's see. Sticker book. Oh, looky. We could do, what about just a little gold foil heart? I think that would work great. So we'll pull off our little gold foil heart and then we will be ready for our next list. So tell me, did you guys list with me? Did you list with me there? And if you didn't, what were, or even if you did, what were some of your holiday highlights? One holiday highlight. Tell me one holiday highlight in the chat. I'm just curious. I do have a live giveaway that we'll do today. We will do that very shortly. Cindy, yes, tip and tape is included in the 2025 year in review project kit. Absolutely. I saw someone that said, someone placed an order and forgot. Oh, Carrie. Yes, if you guys, if you ever place an order and you have not received your shipping confirmation email, that means your order hasn't shipped yet, which means we can add to your order. Just shoot us an email, lailbymail@gmail.com, or go to the website and click contact us and let me know what you'd like to add to the order and we can add it before it ships. Why did I just do that? Okay, we need all these things out so we can continue to put that away. You know, I need something. There still needs to be something up here maybe. Not that, that was way too big. That was way too big, but we need something up here. I don't like that red or green. All right, hold on. While we're here, let's just look. It's just kind of plain up there in the snow. We could do a little, oh, how about one of these? These would be cute. Then it will kind of, it will kind of, you know, tie in with that whole ornament hanging theme that we have going. One of these little guys. There we go. Cute, cute, cute. All right, now it's ready to go. Now it's good. Now it is good. Julie said highlight was having her 2 children home and making candied pecans for the cookie exchange. How fun. Carla said all my kids are home for Christmas. Tabby Cat made brunch for the family. Where are we? Kelly's Creative Dreams said Bob being home. Yes, because he retired, right? Yes. Julie said no one was sick is my highlight. Yeah, you know what? Okay, here's the thing, you guys. And we're going to talk about this as I'm putting things away. You may have had a very difficult Christmas. That doesn't mean that you can't have highlights, that you can't see the good, right? I will tell you, you may have noticed that nothing on my list of the highlights had anything to do with Christmas Day. That was a hard one. Christmas night was a hard one. We always have a very large dinner party, 22 people this year, all family and some friends. My dad came. And some of you know my dad has Alzheimer's. It is early. It's still very early, but his short-term memory is not good. And so that was hard. That day was not a highlight. I was sitting in the family room with him, and we were talking. We're in front of the Christmas tree. Okay, we're in front of the Christmas tree, and he asked me what month it was. So that was hard. But you know what? Just because, and there were a number of things like that with him, you know, all evening long, which was hard. But you know what? It's okay. But that doesn't mean I couldn't find highlights in the rest of, you know, kind of Christmas Eve, and a little bit in Christmas Day. I just chose not to focus on that being hard, right? So whatever hard you have in your life, I really strongly encourage you to look for the highlights, right? Look for the glimmers, look for the highlights. Even if it's like Julie said, no one was sick is my highlight. That is, I mean, if you've had sick family in the holidays, you know, that is not easy. So good job. Good job, Julie. I like it. I really like it. That's a great highlight. Karen said Hot Springs. Christmas Day movie marathon of all the classics. Oh, that's fun, Rainey. I love it. That's really fun. Louisa said highlight this holiday was our 4th annual gingerbread contest and visiting lights in the neighborhood. They won the city sweepstakes. Oh, how cool is that? So you know what? For Louisa, one of her lights was the neighborhood winning the city sweepstakes for decorating, right? So that doesn't even necessarily maybe have anything to do with her, but she chose to, you know, see that as good, see that as a highlight, right? I don't know. Sometimes you guys, it's whatever we have to do to get through the day, right? Whatever we got to do to get through things. And Brenda said, thank you, Brenda. I'm sorry, Lil. My dad also has Alzheimer's. We're grateful for the moments we get with him, right? Yep, absolutely. And that's how I choose to look at it. That's how you choose to look at it. We just have to be thankful for what we have sometimes, right? And not what we don't have. Okay, next list. Our next list is, oh, okay. This is gonna be a fun one. This was a fun one, but this is a totally different type of fun one. This next one is In My Era. So if you are familiar with Taylor Swift, even if you're not familiar with Taylor Swift, well, hopefully you know that Taylor Swift is a singer-songwriter, a very talented, successful singer-songwriter. She is kind of known for this saying, I'm in my era, in your, you know, whatever era it is, and we'll talk about examples in a minute, but that came from her different styles of music and her different albums that she has released, that she might be in the country era, she might be in the folk era, she might be in the revenge era, where a lot of her songs are, not revenge, but a lot of her songs are, you know, shouldn't say revenge because that's not what it is. But a lot of her songs are talking about, you know, ex relationships and things like that. But I thought there are a number of lists that we do kind of in the same time every year. And I thought this might be a fun list to start doing at the end of every year. So this is In My Era. And as we get going, some of my things are funny, some of them not so funny, but these are just kind of describing my, like, kind of who I am at this time in my life, right? One example might be, I am in my velvet top era. I have like 4 different velvet tops. I really like them right now. So I'm in my velvet top era, right? So that's kind of an example. But this is a fun way to kind of describe who you are from year to year. This would be a fun thing as we're starting to, you know, maybe you have a lot of family around, maybe you're having dinner, you know, as it's the holidays, you could have people say, what's your era? What era are you in? And it would be fun to say what era you're in. It might also be fun for other people to say what era that you're in. Irene, look at that. I love it. Irene is back in her full nest era. What I imagine by that is Irene's kids are home, right? She was empty nest for a while. And now she's in her full nest. I love that. That's a great way to put that. That is a great way to put that. Nancy said her highlight, her husband cleaned the oven the day after Christmas. Nancy, I'm right there with you. Nick cleaned the oven the day after Christmas. And it's one of those things you're like, wow, that was really bad. When you see it clean, you're like, oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Cindy said her highlight was watching the Chiefs win their football game with her husband. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so let's see. This is my In My Era list. I am using the Groovy Darlin collection. This will be the last time that I use Groovy Darlin. It is getting packed up. It's actually getting packed up for one of you because what's going to happen after I use it on this list, I mean, the paper pad is almost all there, pretty much everything. I've used this on maybe 3 or 4 lists, but there's so much product still left in the papery, lots of things. So much product left that I haven't used. So once I'm done with my list today, this is getting packed up and going to one of you. This is our live giveaway today. Basically, my all of the things I haven't used in Groovy Darlin. So I'm going to pick out the products that I want to use on this list. And then as soon as I pick out the individual products, I will do the giveaway. So the way the giveaway works, my friends, is that it's in the chat. All of it happens in the chat. So chat away. And when I've picked out the specific products I'm going to use, I will stop. I'll just take my finger and scroll up in the chat. And wherever my finger stops, that person wins all of that yummy stuff. I will also tell you, I put all of that product on the website at 40% off all the Groovy Darlin products. So Amy just linked that, but it's fun. It is a super fun collection, but I thought kind of in my era, I thought this might be kind of a fun collection to use with that. So let's start out with a background. Let's start out with what we want to use as the background as I go into the paper pad. This is Groovy Darlin, a Jen Hadfield collection. Roller skates, that's kind of a fun one too. It's a little bit more muted than I think I want to go with. Little Volkswagen vans, little green peace signs. That's kind of a fun one. I guess I probably need to figure out what else I want to use with it too, huh? Oh, there we go. I've used this one. I know I've used that one in the past. Maybe this, ooh, maybe this guy. I kind of like this guy. Just those little polka dots. This is going to be a one-page list. And I have space for a one-page list right here. So this is what's going to happen here. Hello, Terry. You are back. Terry, that is so sweet. Bob popping on. Hi, this is Bob, Terry's husband. Terry is otherwise engaged at a mother of the bride, what did he say? Mother of the bride shower, right? That's so fun. But it was so nice of him to pop on and tell us that. Maybe we'll use that. No, maybe. We'll see. All right. So let's figure out what product that we want to go with here. Some stickers. Da, 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 da. Those are the sticker sheets. Let's look at this guy. They're sticker book, excuse me, not sticker sheets, sticker book. I don't know. I think we're just going to start throwing in a bunch of things maybe. Oh, I'm definitely, okay, I got it. I'm in my country era. I'm in my country era. I'm going to work with this cowboy boot, okay? You could be in your roller skate. I mean, you know, it's just a fun collection to use, but I'm going to work in that cowboy boot. That's fun because I am in my country era. I love country music. Now, here's the thing. This is the first time we've done this list. And so there may be some things that have been doing in my era for a while. Like I have enjoyed country music for probably the last 5 years. And so it doesn't necessarily mean that this is a brand new thing for me. But because this is the first time I'm doing this list, then I'm pulling in some things that, you know, I may have been doing for a while. There's so much stuff here. I'm not even sure what I'm looking for here. Maybe something to go against that little guy, not that. I like these little guys. These little squares are kind of fun. But I need it to, it's going with this piece for sure. It might get lost on there. Just looking for some things that I might layer with. Just looking for some things. And of course, now none of it's organized anymore. And I planned out nothing other than what's on my groovy, not my groovy era, other than what's on my list. Obviously, I planned that out. But other than that, okay, hold on. We're going to keep looking. We're going to keep looking. This would maybe work. Maybe those things. Let's start there. Let's start there. No green, because green is not what I'm going for here. Maybe this guy. Maybe this guy. I don't know, maybe. Are you off, sweetie? Mm-hmm. Did you get it clean? As clean as you could. All righty. Okay, have fun. Goodbye. Love you. Hey, keep that door open, will you? Oh, you're good at me. Oh, thank you. Will you bring that fan over here? It's a little warm. Yes, please. Thank you. All right, friends. Sorry about that. Momming.
Where do you want it to go?
Right here. Like right here. Right on top of me. Uh-oh. Thank you. Okay. We're still looking. We're still looking. Ooh, okay, this. I think that. Okay, we're good. I found the things that I'd like to use. Ooh, and that. Okay, let's get all this stuff off to the side now because it's going to just be confusing. It's going to be confusing and distracting, isn't it?
Turn your fan on, Mom.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know how to.
It's with the remote. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye. Have fun skiing.
Oh, I'm not going.
Oh, you're not?
They just opened and there's 24 to 44 mile an hour winds.
There are at Snowbird?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
So
Okay.
They don't have a lot of stuff even open right now, so.
Okay, all right. They have a lot of snow. They got a lot of snow, didn't they?
We've gotten like 3 feet in the last 2 days, something like that.
Wow. Okay, well, that's good. 3 feet at this ski resort, 15 minutes from our house in the last 2 days. And there's not a stick of snow on our lawn, which is good. That's the way we like it. That's the way we like it. Snow in the mountains, but not where we are. All right, love you too, bye.
Do you need anything?
Julie, oh, it's huge, right? It's a lot. What?
Do you need water or anything?
That one?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just water?
No, there's some water in it. You can just hand it to me.
Okay.
Thank
I was
you.
like asking you-
Hydration break, friends. Hydration.
Are you done with this?
You put water in there. Thank you.
I was asking.
Yes,
you
I know.
You need stuff.
I know. Thank you. That's so nice of you. All right, so let's get back to the task at hand now. We just had a squirrel moment there. So 1-page list, and I am going to put this list because it's a 1-page right here. Now, some of you are going to cringe until you can't cringe anymore because you're like, oh my goodness, those two things do not go together at all. And that's okay. That doesn't bother me at all. I have a blank space here. So I should put this, there, right? But if something like that bothers you, this is a great place to put a photo of, I don't know, your shopping list or maybe your, oh my gosh, Lael, I can't believe I did that. Hang on. That's why I left that blank. If you were with me last week, now I remember I left this blank because I've been putting the grocery list from our shopping, from Christmas dinner on there. Xmas dinner shopping list. If you are leaving space for something, make sure you write what you're leaving space for because, yeah, I almost totally blew that one. It wouldn't have been the first time that I did that. Completely forgot what I was doing. Thank you, sweetie.
Okay, bye, Mom.
Ms. L was there. She remembers. She's like, oh, yes, my grocery list goes there. I know, right? In fact, Nick went to the store and he crossed all the things up the list. And I'm like, give me that list. I need it. I'll rewrite it. But okay. So here we are, starting fresh. We need a trimmer because I am going to trim this down to 4 3/4. We talked about that earlier. I'm working with a standard wide insert. And so, did that work? I think it will. I'm working with a standard wide insert. So I need to trim that 6x8 paper down. But now I need to, we're gonna make this work. This guy is going to be 4 3/4 like this. And then I'm going to trim this guy down a little bit more. And then I'm going to pick we'll do this at 4 1/4. So we took a half off of there, and we need to take a half off of here as well. And then we should just about be even. So there we go. And then we'll try to work a little bit of pink in there. Okay, so I picked the supplies that I want to use, which means now I'm going to scroll up, and the winner is Terry Leto. Terry, do I pronounce your name correctly? Terry, you are the random lucky winner of all of what I have left now of the Groovy Darling collection. So Terry, shoot me an email, please, and we'll get that shipped off to you this week. All of that fun stuff to play with. Yes, congratulations, Terry. Hi, Nikki BB44. The list that we are working on right now is In My Era. So kind of like Taylor Swift, she kind of coined that term. What era are you in? Like what is describing you these days? What are you doing? What are you thinking? Maybe eating. Maybe you love pizza and you're eating a lot of pizza lately. Maybe you're in your pizza eating era. Or maybe you are maybe you're in your binge watching Yellowstone era. Oh, we just finished that. So good. So good. So what era are you in? Now, I want to try something. If I wanted to add a little bit more pink in here, I want to see if I can add a little bit more pink by inking those edges, but I'm not sure what's going to happen when I do that color. So we're going to test it out. We're going to test it. Let's see. That is picked raspberry. Oh, what didn't I put away before? Kitsch Flamingo. Uh-oh. I need to get out some glue on that little guy, or just re-swatch him. All right, so let's see here. This is the piece. Where'd my other piece go that I cut off? Oh, here it is. So I wanted to see what happens if I ink that. Oh yeah, that will take the ink really well. I was worried about how it might look on kind of that yellowish, but it's good. So I want to just have a little bit of stand out. Oh, I didn't even grab that color yet. Picked raspberry. Picked raspberry. Here we go. Picked raspberry. Stephanie said she's in her homebody era, right? Oh, okay. Terry said I am in the soon to be a grandma era. That is so exciting. Exciting. Wanda said I'm in my buy too much crafting supplies era, right? So lots of different eras, and basically it's just a fun way. It's saying I'm in my era and then listing, you know, things like that. It's just a fun way to kind of what is happening in the, taking a term that is in the, oh, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Pop culture, there we go. It's kind of in the pop culture world and working a little bit of pop culture in our, you know, in our listing, just by calling it I'm in my era. Oh, look at that. Now that like really makes it pop off of there now, right? So kind of before it was, I think it was struggling a little bit, but now it makes it pop. So another way that I'm going to really make it pop is now when I grab my white cardstock to make my list on, I'm going to also, I will also ink the edges of that white cardstock. Zen Girls, I love it. Zen Girls is in her start listing era. Oh, so okay, I'll tell you guys something that's coming next week. I'm not sure when next week yet, but next week, probably later in the week, a new free class, and that free class will basically be, so you've decided to start using a traveler's notebook, now what? And that will basically take the focus on, because it's a brand new year. A lot of you have been with me for a while and you've never listed, and you're like, okay, I want to start listing, but where the heck do I start? That's one of the biggest questions that I get. So that free class is I'm going to take your hand and I'm going to walk you through some ideas and some suggestions and all kinds of resources and things like that. So yeah, so if you are in your getting ready to start listing era, then you can look forward to that. Tracy is, in my parents era. Oh, Tracy, deep breath. I'm giving a deep breath for you because I understand. I understand. It is, you know, just like when you have kids, there's no training, really. There's training for how to give birth, but really no training on how to raise your children. And then nobody prepares you for how to parent your parents. That is a very difficult, and I think it's difficult from so many different perspectives, because that's it. You really have to, I mean, yes. Oh, what did I do there? I didn't do that right. That was way too small. Yeah, I hear you. Just, I don't even know what advice to give you because I don't know what advice to give myself either. It's just, it's hard, right? It's a definite change in roles. It's a very, very definite change in roles. This is 3 3/4. Now that that's probably 3 3/4 by 7. That's usually what that ends up being when I do that. All right, we just see a little bit of that polka dot. Parenting your parents. Karen is in it. I want to buy a tiny home era. You've been in that era for a little bit, haven't you, Karen? I know you've mentioned that before. Irene says I'm in my simplify life era. Kind of comes with age a little bit, it seems, right? Crafty Carly said I just found you a couple of months ago and I'm working on just my second list today. Not just. Say I'm already working on my second list. I love that. I've got a big smile on my face. Let's see what else. Let's see. Pitching era? Oh, I think Kelly, I don't think you mean like softball, right? You mean like throwing things away era? Um, Stephanie Hackney said, honestly, I think parenting our parents is much harder than parenting our kids. Parents generally don't do well with the role reversal, right? Yes. Tracy said she just has to roll with each day. Totally true. Totally true. Terry said we could have a whole Saturday session on the parenting parents era. We totally could. I know, right? We really could. You know, a lot of us are kind of in that same stage of life. And yeah, a lot of us go through the same struggles. And I will tell you, because a lot of us are the same age, the Facebook group is a great place to pop in if you need advice on something like that. And I'm not saying that that's the only thing that's for, but it's a safe space. And because we have a lot of people that are kind of in that same stage of life right now, sometimes people will email me with questions and I'll be like, that's a great question and I don't really know how to address that, but maybe pop in the Facebook group and ask. Usually it's craft related or something like that when they ask, but yeah, that would totally be there's sometimes some really great conversations that take place in the Facebook group that have nothing to do with crafting or listing or anything. Lots of great conversations. All right, so we are now ready to put this guy down. We've got a couple different layers going here, don't we? A couple different layers, but by adding that pink is making the white pop, right? And not blend in so much. It's kind of making it pop. But then the pink there is also making that pop. I felt like we just needed something a little bit, I don't know, something a little bit more. So there we go. There is the start of our In My Era list. In My Era. Terry. Oh, Terry, that's great advice. Terry said, here's the best advice I could give any of you going through that era, parenting parents. Cherish this time. It's so hard when it's over. And Terry has very recent experience with that. So thank you for sharing that, Terry. That is great advice. And you know what? That's actually great advice for a lot of different things. If you have young kids, same thing, cherish. If you have teenagers, same thing, cherish, right? Kind of in all of those stages, we need to sometimes step back and go, okay, I need to remember to cherish this because, yeah. Pamela's in the wishing to retire soon era. I love it. I love it. Okay, so now let's get our little cowboy boot out here. Little cowboy boot. And we're going to bring in just a couple of things to layer with maybe. Now, sunshine, I don't know, might work, but not really. So I'm just going to cover that up with the cowboy boot. Now, the cowboy boot is a sticker. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I don't really need any of that white there because I don't need the sunshine. So let's just cut this away. Cut this white extra stuff away. We just have a little kind of reinforcing that color combination that we have going here. I have lots of things on my era list. All right, there we go. And now, because we will need one more thing. We will need one more thing here. Do I want it to be crooked? Yeah, it kind of needs to be crooked a little bit. It just does. So let's do that. Let's do that, like that. And then we need one more thing right there, something little. So all those flowers that I pulled out, I will not use any of them. So let's look for, we could have a little star. I feel like we should have a little flower, but if we use that little flower, we won't see it. That little flower really doesn't go. I need a little pink flower. How about, I don't know. Oh, maybe one of these guys? Let's look. Oh, those are probably two totally different colors, so we might not like that. Maybe we just do the cowboy. No, let's do the flower. No, we'll do the cowboy. Maybe we'll just do the star, not the cowboy. Yikes, Lael. Yikes, yikes, yikes. And then I think we'll do one of these little 4-point stars. One of these little Zen girls. Okay, I'm going to start going. I'm going to start going and we'll start listing here in a second. And I've got loads of them. And so, and I don't mean that, you know, they would be on your, what would be in your error list. But once I start giving a bunch of different examples, you might go, oh yeah, oh yeah. And then things will start really flying. All right, that's a good start. So now we need a title, and I'm going to stamp my title, the era part of my title. And for that, I am going to use the Tally alphabet. So let's see where I have that. Behind me, let me grab it. Tally, where are you? I didn't get it out prior. Let's see. Let us see. My back is to you, so apologies as I look for that. Oh, here it is. Here it is. All right. So Tally Alpha. Super basic sans serif font. Now we all know what sans serif is without the little hats and feet. So I use my stamp storage sleeves, and when I get a new stamp set, whether it's my own or, you know, I'm buying for my personal stash from someone else, I store them in the stamp storage sleeves. I always put a piece of cardstock behind them. The reason for that is when I go to take that stamp out, because the stamp storage sleeve is plastic and the stamp, the packaging for the stamp is plastic, a lot of times those pieces will stick together and it makes it a little bit hard to get that out. So if I just put my little cardstock right in there, and that kind of breaks that plastic on plastic, breaks that seal, if you will, then, you know what, I don't have, for some reason, the backer sheet isn't in there, so that's sticking. All right, there we go. There we go. Karen's in the prepping for him to move here era, which is only a few weeks away, potentially era. Yes, I missed something. I missed something. You were talking about that a couple of weeks ago, Karen. You have a new old or old new man in your life, right? Not age-wise. Oh, I did not clean these off last time before I used them. Well, we're going to have to deal with that. Era. So, Tally Alpha, super basic sans serif font that is a 6x8 set. And so these are about an inch and a half tall, and they're going to be about an inch wide. So a nice basic alpha stamp set. Now, when I stamp with alphabet stamps, I stamp each letter individually. Let me just get this picked up because we don't need this out anymore. I stamp with each letter individually, and that's just a me thing. I need to deal with this guy. Probably just need to make a new one. After a while, those your little pieces on the back side start to come off. Oh, yes, I like to stamp each stamp individually. The reason I like to do that is that way I get to control how close together the stamps are. You can only get your stamps so close together when you are putting them all in the same stamp set, because there's a little bit of a bleed or a little bit of an extra material, more of the polymer, the rubber. It's not rubber, but there's a little bit of a buffer around each letter. And so I like to get my stamps closer together, and I can't necessarily get them as close as I want them because of that extra material around each of the stamps. So I stamp them individually. So what I'm going to do here is let's take our ruler and we're going to draw a little line with our pencil just so we know where to start. Not where to start, but I think what I'll do is instead of above it writing in my era, I think I might write it to the left of the E. So if we start about right here, that would give us a straight line. I'll come in and erase this later. There's my straight line. And if we just kind of plan these out about how close they'll be. I would like to have them be somewhat centered. So this is one of the disadvantages of stamping them individually. You need to kind of figure out exactly where they're going to go or where to start. Let go. So if I start right about there, I think we'll be good. All right, so let's get our ink out. I'll use that same picked raspberry. Did I put that away? I think I put it away already. Where did it go? Did I put it away? Maybe not. Oh, no, it's over here. It's over here. Oh, you told me about that before, Denise. I need to do that. I'm going to try to do that next time. I'll try to remember. All right, to flip it, the foam dauber piece. All right, so here, before I ever stamp on my project, I should always test stamp first to make sure that everything looks good, to make sure I like the color. I already know I like the color because I've used it, but also to make sure that there aren't any maybe little stray hairs or a piece of lint that is going to prevent the ink from adhering to the stamp. But everything looked good. We think everything looked good. I just was reading Karen's thing. So Karen, it's somebody that was in your past, right? I kind of missed it again. Somebody from your past that you've reconnected with. Or same guy since 84. No, you haven't reconnected. You haven't reconnected. You have been in contact with him the whole time. Wow, that is pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome, Karen. Congratulations. Maybe taking it to the next level, huh? There we go. There's our E. Clean this off very quickly. Always a good idea to clean your stamps off right after you use them. Not like I did there, because it's just so much easier. I always say it's kind of like the end of the night. Do the dishes, or do the dishes right away instead of waiting until the next morning. Because sometimes the next morning, the food is stuck on and you have to scrub it, just like I am working to get that black off. All right. I need to dry that completely again, right? We talked about that before. Really important that you dry your stamp completely after cleaning it before you ink it up. Because if you were working with a pigment-based ink or hybrid-based ink, that stamp or that ink is water reactive, and you may get a little bit of a different color than you were planning on. A variation. Sometimes it looks like it's got like watercolor splotches in it, where a little bit of the pigment will come out in some place and maybe not as much in another. It's just kind of odd sometimes. Okay, ERA. I'm in my era. What era am I in? I'm in lots of eras right now. Lots of eras. And this one was okay because I apparently cleaned it last time I used it. Oh, I can see right now, I think. Oh, there is. I can see there's something. Well, actually, ooh, you know what? I didn't test my, not very good, but I'm going to test this one and show you. This is why we always test. Because, well, it's not so bad, but I can tell, see that kind of little spot right there? There is some kind of like lint or something on my stamp right there in the A. It actually lifted right off. All right, let's re-ink this guy. I can see another one, but we're just gonna go for it. This is really funny. I did not, well, it's funny. I did not stamp on the line, but I ended up lining that extra little material there on all those stamps kind of on the line. All right, in my era. Eating at the sink. Denise, wouldn't I want to stamp the middle letter first? Well, I suppose I could, right? In a 3-letter word like that, yes, that would have been much easier. But if I had like a 5-letter word, then I don't know, it gets too weird. With something like this, when the font is very standard and most of your letters are the same width, you can do that. If I had an M in there and maybe an I, it'd be a little bit harder to do because the M is wider and the I is narrower. But theoretically, yes, for sure. For sure. All right, so I'm going to say, in my era. And then we're going to do a dot and a dot and a dot. And then we are actually going to do a little underline here. But I better make it a little bit further away because it was not exactly straight. And I'll do 2 little underlines. All right, in my era. So the eras I am in. I need a pencil, my black Sharpie to do that. Because I can't even write that the outlining is my era because it's been 20 some odd years, so. But definitely need to do that. There we go, okay. All right, so I need a bullet stamp. Because this is going to be a run-on. This is going to be a run-on list, meaning I am just going to right, and not have it be like numbered or vertical. So what would we like to use? What would we like to use? Oh, I know what I'll use. I don't ever use this guy. This kind of works here. This is from Bullets and More, the original set. This is a well-used set. I am going to use this little 4-point star, because it kind of will remind me of those little 4-point stars. All right, now that little tiny stamp, what do I use to write? Carol, I use a fine point Sharpie. Okay, it's a fine point Sharpie pen. This is the pen that I have used, I don't know, probably the last 15 years. Well, not this exact pen, but a Sharpie pen, a fine tip Sharpie pen. It is a felt pen. The one that I use is a felt pen. There's a roller ball that I have on the website too. I think there's 3 versions on the website. Anyhow, I use the felt tip. I just really like the way that it writes, and it's very, it's fine. It's not like your Sharpie marker that you're writing on boxes with, right? So you can pretty much find those at any kind of office supply store, but also have these, right? Karen Haynes, you used to have a neighbor named Lindsay Stout. I have a very good friend named Lindsay Stout, but she doesn't have a twin. Isn't that funny? That's funny. Okay. All right. Sydney, not Lindsay. I'm like, wait a minute, that was odd. How many Bullets and More are there? Wanda, there are 3. There's Bullets and More, Bullets and More 2, and Bullets and More 3. There probably will not be any more bullets. The 3 is good. I mean, we've got a lot of bullet stamps across the 3. All right, so, oh, hold on, Lael. Somehow I have not from, oh, you know what I bet I did? Maybe I was holding it down there and got black on me. Anyhow, let me clean that because we do not want to have black fingerprints on our list. That would not be fun. That is not the look I'm going for here, right? All right, let's just get that really clean. Make sure we have no more black. Maybe down here. I don't know where I picked that up. All right. Oh, even on there. Like, where the heck, Layla? What did I do? Okay, so I'm using, oh Lord. Oh, here it is. I'm using that little teeny tiny 4-point star. And we talked earlier about right sizing our stamping blocks. I got it, Colleen. Thank you. So, Colleen, angel time, my angel time is 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a time that I see on the clock. Like a very, I mean, so many times I look at the clock and it is 12:34, 1, 2, 3, 4. Some people call it their angel time. I've always thought that that's my grandma. That's my grandma saying, hey, I'm here. I'm thinking of you. My grandma passed away a number of years ago. So this is bizarre. So the other day when I talked to my dad, it was a very hard conversation. And when I hung up, I was very upset, crying. And I'm not kidding you. 5 minutes later, I look at my watch and guess what time it was? 12:34. And that was my grandma. Well, I always think that. My grandma and my dad's mom. I think that was her way of saying it's okay. All right, so thank you, Colleen. I always love that you point that out. Okay, stamping stylus, really small stamping block, right? But if we had a little teeny one, like the width of all of our little stamping blocks, it'd be really hard for me to use it because it's so small. I couldn't hold on to it. So really, it's a stamping block for a really teeny stamp, but it's in a form that we're very used to working with, right? Look at, it's kind of the similar circumference and similar length to a pen or pencil. So with this guy, I put my little bullet stamps on the end of this. Now, there is a little label on there. And if yours doesn't have a label, if your label peeled off or whatever it is, just go ahead and add like a little sticker or something here. This is why this is important, having something there that's a frame of reference. In this case, there is a direction to this little stamp, right? So it is a 4-point star. And if I stamp it this way, versus if I stamp it this way, or this way, or this way, if I don't know the orientation of that stamp, I can't have it be in the same place every time. So if I am always watching where that sticker is, in that case where the little squirrel is, I can make sure that that is roughly in the same orientation every time. All right. So that's what I'm doing with this. That's what I'm doing with this little, this is my bullet stamp for in my era. So in my era, these are the eras that I am in right now. I am in my dry shampoo era. Dry shampoo. I do not wash my hair every day. I have learned that if I wash my hair every day, my hair does not grow. It is much healthier for my hair, maybe different with you, but for my hair, it is much healthier if I do not wash it every day. Okay, dry shampoo. I am also, I mentioned before, I am in my velvet top era. Velvet top. I have a number of velvet tops that I very much like. And so I'm saying it's my velvet top era. I'm in my velvet top era. I am in my blush pink nails. Now, if you are new, you're like, what? Your nails are red. My nails are red one time a year. And that is in December. The next time I see you, I don't think I have a nail appointment next week. So probably next 2 times I'll go back to my blush nails. But I've been in that blush nails era, really light pink for a really long time. For a really long time. All right. So then I am in my beach waves. Beach waves. Almost Utah hair era. So my hair is growing again. My hair takes a very long time to grow. And kind of that beach wave era where it's kind of a little bit wavy, but then also there's something called Utah hair. I'm not quite Utah hair. Utah hair is like beach waves, but then with kind of straight ends. So sometimes there's straight ends, sometimes not as much, but kind of beach waves, almost Utah hair era. I am in my travel era, for sure. I'll say traveling. I'm in my traveling era. I just love to travel. And it's been that way for a little while, but yes, very much in that travel era. So now that I'm giving some examples of the eras I am in. Oh, Denise, you know it. Denise said, I bet you have an appointment soon to get rid of the red. Yep. Absolutely, because it's done. But I get them done every 3 weeks. And so, oh goodness, skiing must be really bad. Nick just pulled back in. Nick left at noon and it's 12:39 Utah time. So he's been gone 2.5 hours. That's not enough time to do much skiing at all. So, oh boy. Let's see, Zen Girls, there you go. Zen Girls said she's in her helpful era. I like it. I like it, in her helpful era. Cindy is in her short hair era. You cut 14 inches off in May. Oh my goodness, wow. Wow, 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 that's a lot. That is a lot. I am in my emotional era, right? I talked about that a little bit early. Emotional and crying era. Whoops. All right. I haven't been saying era, but oh well. Who am I? That is very much not me. I've just been super, super, super emotional the last probably 2 weeks. There's just been a lot going on. Some of the things will go on my list that we'll be doing over the next couple of weeks, things I want to forget about 2024. I am in my decluttering era. Decluttering, purging, and donating. Right? I'm like, get it out of here. Decluttering, purging, and donating era. All right, what other eras? Where do I find the stamping stylus? Carrie, you will find that if you click in the what I'm using link in the description box of the video. It will take you to a page of all the things I am using. Or you can just go to lailbymail.com and search in the search box stamping stylus. I don't know if Amy is still here. If Amy is still here, she'll pop it. Oh, there we go. There it is. Thank you, Amy. So Carrie, she just popped that in the chat. Just click that link. Hello.
Hello.
What, you're back.
You're in your Being Nice to Nick era too.
I'm in my Be Nice to Nick era.
Yeah, we didn't ski.
You didn't even ski.
Stubbard was not open.
Oh.
We got to Alta and they opened like the Sunnyside lift.
One lift.
Right, there's 10,000 people in that.
Oh, because bad weather?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, well.
so we pulled an audible, but had to put bowl of soup.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yep. Okay. Let's see. Okay. They said, a couple ladies said hello, Nick. Janine, I love it. I am in my cozy era and stop and smell the roses era. Very good. Very good. Nick is in a not skiing era. He's in a skiing and fishing more than golfing era, right? So in this idea now, right? This whole, in my era, it's kind of just a fun way to describe kind of what you're doing, not doing in this stage of life or this year, right? Because this is one we will start doing every year. I am in my country music all the time. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. But only new country, not old country, not like Merle Haggard type country. I like new country. Also in the seeing live concerts, live music. I guess I'm in the seeing live music era, so concert era. What other era am I in? I'm in the hot flash era. Hot flash. I'm in the hot flashes era, and I have been in that era no matter what I do for quite a while, but that's okay. That's all right. All right. Let's see. Zen Girls is her donate my extra weight. Yes, I would love to be in my donate the extra weight era. I am in the carrying extra weight era. I like that. I'm going to put that on there. Carrying extra weight. Carrying extra weight. Yes, I am. Oh, we'll work on that. Working on that. We'll get there at some point. All right, extra weight era. I am in my no nonsense era. I am more and more, I am not going to put up with your BS era. No nonsense, right? No nonsense. Don't have time for it. Don't have time for it. Not going to do it. Wouldn't be prudent era, right? I am in my experiences versus things. I am in my, let's see, RVing era. RVing. We are, you probably know that. We very much enjoy going out in our RV. So there we go. I am in my era. Those are the eras I am in. And that is a list we will start doing at the end of every year. And what'll be interesting is, remember, time capsule. Very much a time capsule, right? That is very much a time capsule of how things are in your world, what era that you are in at this point in time. And I would, like I said, I always say this, so many of our lists, like, Mom, you're here, my mother should make a list of what era she's in. Because how cool would it be? One day I'll look back and look at my mom's list of what era she was in. I wish I was doing an era list before era was even the thing, like 10 years ago. What era was I in? It's just kind of a fun way to, to document yourself, to tell your story, because it's this type of thing. And I have been a scrapbooker, you guys, for 28 years. 28 years. This kind of thing is never any kind of scrapbooking or documenting or memory keeping I had ever done. And really all the listing that we do is very much this, right? We are telling our story, but in a totally different way, right? I don't know about you, but I never sat down and did a scrapbook page with my photo and talked about kind of this type of thing. So kind of a fun era, right? An era. All right, so we are going to add that list, and then we are going to work on our third list. Our third and final list of the day. I really need to find the backer to this. I need to leave that out. I need to find the backer because that's going to make it very difficult. All right, let's go ahead and add this into our insert. Oh, I know what I need to do. I need to add the year there. I need to add December 2024 on there. So later, if I see that somewhere, I'm like, oh yeah, that was the era I was in 24. All right. So we'll just keep it simple. We'll just write 2024 right here. All right. I'm going to skip this page because my next page is a 2-pager. I'm in my comfy shoes era. Cindy is. You know what? Totally. I have noticed that about myself too, right? I mean, still fashionable most of the time, but sometimes I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not wearing those shoes. They look a lot cuter with my outfit, but there is no way I can wear those for 4 hours. No way. No way. All right. So let me get these things put away. And these are all now going to make their way to Miss Terry because she won our little giveaway, our live giveaway. Now there will also be, don't worry, an after party giveaway. The after party giveaway. Let's see. I haven't written it down yet, so we'll see what it is. We'll give it a little bit and see what comes to me. All right, our third list. So our third list, this is when we're starting to get into the list that I mentioned at the beginning that we do every year to kind of wrap up a year. So there is kind of a series of lists that I've done since we started listing once we get to the end of the year that we always do. And one of those lists is today, and it is things I did well this year. Now, there's something that we got to talk about right off the bat. I think someone posted this in the Facebook group, and I thought this is very important to talk about. And it is this. There will be lots of posts soon from people sharing how much they achieved in 2024. But in case someone needs to hear this, it's okay if the only thing you did this year was to just get through it. All right? So the list I'm doing is things I did well in 2024. My list will be separate from your list, and your list will be separate from anyone else's list. And it's just that. It is your list. You may have run a marathon. You know what? You may have walked once a day every other week. 2 very different things there, right? But The person that ran the marathon, that was something on their things I did well this year list. The person that walked every other day, or every other day, every other week, whatever it is, that is something that they did well. So don't compare yourself to other people. What is on your things you did well list are the things that you did well. It could mean that you did really well at finishing every book that you started reading, right? They don't have to be giant things. Maybe that is a big thing for you. Maybe you did really well on eating all the food that you grocery shopped for every week. They don't have to be big things. So I don't want anybody to not do a list because they feel like they didn't, in this case, do anything well, right? You did things well. We all did things well. Some of the things on my list are really simple things to some people, but for me, they were really a big deal because I've never done them before or been able to do them or to stay consistent with it. Okay, so to me, that's really important that you will see my list. If you want to share, as always, any of your lists, you can share them on the Facebook page, or excuse me, in the Facebook group. Love it when people share their lists, but this is very much probably a AU list, okay? All right, so as we look at the idea book, so in both idea books, but we'll specifically look at the original idea book. So this was our list that we did from 2020 to 2023. There is a chapter called Beginning and End. And beginning and end is basically what we're doing at the end of every year and the beginning of a new year. So like things I learned, things I did well. So look at this, 2020, 21, 2022, and there's also a 2023 list in the 2023 idea book. So all of these things that kind of the beginning and end are things that we're starting to do at the beginning and the end of the year. Things I did well. So what's going to happen? My list is going to follow kind of the same format. I call it kind of follow the same format and same design for all of the years, just because it's something that's very, it's simple, but it's also very graphic in nature, right? So it's really things kind of really stand out. I didn't intentionally pick 6 things this year. They just happened to be the 6 things that were on my list. And maybe it's a subconscious thing because 6, oh no, there are 6 things here. There are 6 things here. There are 6 things here. See what I did there and not said that number 3 times in a row? All right, so that is our plan. This is a 2-page list. I will be using, let's get that back on. I will be using the all the things stamp set for this list. So let me pull this out. Okay, the all the things stamp set is kind of a mix and match buildable stamp set. Kind of like your Garanimals. Remember Garanimals back in the day when you could mix and match the pants and the shirts because they had the colors or whatever they had on them, the Garanimals. All right, so your all the things Garanimals stamp set. It is a mix and match. So you have a couple of prompts like my favorite things about, or things I'm, or things I'd like to, or things I. So you have those prompts, and then you have handwritten words to build with those. My favorite things about this year, this fall, this spring, this summer, last year, last month, things I'm looking forward to next month, things I'm looking forward to this winter. So buildable there. This one is things I did well this year. So we have things I, let's pull that out. We'll just put that right there for now. Things I, and then we have did well. So see the building? We kind of are mixing and matching. Things I did well. And then we have this, and then we have all those things. You could have things I did well this month. Things I did well last spring. Kind of that mix and match, right? So things I did well this year. All of those are there. Oops, there's my this. Okay. So starting with that. And this list I am going to do directly on the page. Karen said, I have decluttered well this year. Exactly. Same on my list. That is one of the things that is on my list, right? So for some of you, you might be like, wow, what? That's not really well. I do that all the time. But for me, decluttering was a big thing this year. So I'm taking that. I am taking that as that's something I did well, right? All right. So I'm going to pair that this list with the some products from For the Record. All right, some products from For the Record. So the die cuts have numbers in them. So maybe. I think that the sticker book, the sticker book this year does not have numbers in them. So we're using the die cuts. All right, but I'm going to keep the stickers out too because we'll do a little bit of decorating too, but we'll start with those two. But primarily with the numbers. So this is For the Record from Simple Stories. We have used this on a couple of lists. Let's take a look. That is products from For the Record. Phrases you didn't hear 20 years ago. I think we've used this collection 3 times so far. So phrases you didn't hear 20 years ago. This one is phrases kids today wouldn't understand. I'm still working on this one. Got to finish this one up. And then it will get hid into my answer. So that was also For the Record. And then this guy was For the Record as well. Kind of doing an update on how I was doing with things I was focusing on for the year. All right, so 3 times. This is one of those collections that's just really good and kind of neutral, easy to work with, not really a theme to it. So we'll continue to use it for a little while. Let me grab a little tray here that I can just dump these in as I'm looking for the numbers. Hang tight. All right. Let's see. All right. So tell me, as we're getting ready to start here, what have you done well this year? What would be on your things I've done well this year list? And please do not say nothing. That in this situation, that is not an acceptable answer. I don't know who am I to tell you that, but I just really, sometimes we really have to think hard, right? And that's okay. This is not always an easy list for me to come up with every year. I will tell you, this is probably one of the hardest lists for me personally to do every year because I am a person that thinks I never do anything well. I always focus on the things I'm not doing well. All right, so not an acceptable answer. Nothing is not an acceptable answer. All right. Challenge you. All right, so there are my numbers, my little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So with this, I am going to use the In the Box stamp set. Let me see if they are down here. That's In the Box 2. In the Box. So we may use In the Box and In the Box 2. So as you can tell, both very well used and loved stamp sets. Both of these have dies that go with them, but I will not be using the dies today. So I have just an assortment of boxes, and what makes, I don't know, unique, whatever. They are hand-drawn boxes, and originally I've been doing lists with boxes like this for quite a while. But at some point, enough of you started saying, well, we just want a stamp to do that. And I'm like, well, all you have to do is you draw a ruler, you ruler the outside of the box and then hand draw the inside. That's what those are. But they're kind of fun ways to use different sizes and shapes in your list. All right, so we need to start with our title. So our title will go up here, Things I Did Well This Year. We need something. We've got to put something like right up here, I think. Well, let's just look. Let's be inspired by what we've done in the past. Is it here? Where is this one? You know what? I know what happened. It is not in this idea book because I got sick last year and we had to skip a few sessions. So we'll see 2 in the 2024 idea book. So let's go back here. Let's see what we did. If we're using the Things I Did Well This Year stamp set, we need some kind of little icon or something to go right up in here. So let's figure out what that is. It could just be really basic, like a little set of flowers, maybe. Or let's keep looking. Let's keep looking and see if we're inspired by something else in here. This would pull in a lot of different colors right here, right? That little guy, that's kind of cute too, just a little mug. I mean, it doesn't really have to be anything like super specific to what it is we're writing, right? Maybe this guy. If this guy goes here, things I did well this year, that would fit. Let's just do it. We'll put that there, kind of a little bit of an angle. All right, let's do a little outlining. Karen cheered well this Broncos season, right? Yes, you were a good fan. You could be maybe something you did well this year was to be supportive of your parents. We talked about, so Tracy on her list, things that she did well this year could be parenting her parents, right? But you could cheer for your favorite sports team. You were a good fan. Maybe you were a good neighbor. Maybe you were a good pet owner. Maybe you were a good employee. Maybe you finished your work on time. Maybe you are in sales and exceeded your quota. Terry said she traveled well this year, almost a trip every month. Yes, even if it was just a trip to the cabin. Louisiana twice, Texas, New York, New Mexico. So there you go. She traveled well this year. Let's see. Karen said, why did Simple Stories get rid of the letter? Do you mean the letters in some of their sticker books? I don't know, Karen. I don't know. Kelly's Creative Dreams did well at getting she and her husband prepared for retirement. Brenda said, we loved hard. Our family went through a devastating loss. It brought us closer together, right? So in that case, taking something very difficult and turning it into a positive, right? Putting it into a positive. Oh, that would be cute, wouldn't it? I love it. Pamela said you could put the date in that little notebook window. I love it. That's perfect for that. That's a great idea. All right. So let's get our stamping blocks ready. I'm not using those, but I just needed to, I needed to at least get those out. So right size our stamping blocks, right? I don't want to use a giant one like that. I need something really small because those are all little small stamps. Whoopsie. All right. So maybe this little guy. And maybe one of our little shorties, right? Those are, there's a set of 2 of those. That's another one of my, those are another of my little products, those little stamping cylinders. But I think we should have pretty much what we need between those 3. Remember, we want to right size our stamping blocks. We want our stamping block to be as close to the size of what we are, as close to the size of our stamp. It's just going to make it much easier to handle. So, I don't know, do we have fun and do orange? I don't know. I think we're going to do navy. Oh, we're going to do navy. So let's find a navy that goes well with that. Okay, let's see. Navy. Chipped sapphire, kind of close. Chipped sapphire is probably going to be the closest we're going to find. Yeah, I think everything else is going to be a little bit too blue light. Let's go with chipped sapphire. Chipped sapphire. Alrighty, chipped sapphire. Now, before I start stamping, I always like to look at what happened on the page prior. So I always turn the page back. And here, I'm okay. Nothing has happened here yet, which means my stamping here is not going to affect anything here because I haven't done anything here. What I mean by that is when you're stamping, my Traveler's Notebook Inserts, the paper quality is very good. However, depending on the color that you're stamping with and depending on how dense your stamp is, so when I say dense, like that's a pretty dense stamp. Depending on how dense your stamp is, you could end up with having a little bit of shadowing or ghosting on the back. So if I had done a list here and I had done it directly on the page, then I would want to probably not be stamping here. I'd probably want to put paper down here first and then do my stamping. Otherwise, I'd have a little shadowing or ghosting here, depending on what I was stamping. So what I mean by that is, as you look at, I'm gonna make sure that this is a really obvious example. This is my workbook. So here, when I tested my E and the A, if I had a project that I cared about on the back side, can you see that shadowing and ghosting of the E and the A there? So you just need to pay attention to what has happened, what you've done before. You want to make sure that you're not going to kind of mess something up, all right? But we're good. We're good here. So, but the next thing I need to do, before I start stamping on here, I need to have a pencil board. Pencil board. Pencil board is going to give me a flat surface to stamp or write on. Now, I never use this when I'm writing, but I do use a pencil board when I am stamping. The reason why you might want to do something like that is when you start stamping here, you could be affected by what's happened here. Like right here, I have 1, 2, 3 layers. So if my stamping starts to get over here, I might have an issue when I get towards this edge to stamp. If I had a big die cut here, similar thing could happen. So if I take a pencil board and place it in between the pages, now that's not going to happen because I have a nice flat surface that I am stamping on, all right? So let's get this ready. So I think usually what I do, let's look. Things I did well this year. I think we're going to do the did well first. Let's get did well first because I'll put the things I above that once I have it. So if we did well, and then we need this year to did well, and then I need this year. Just trying to figure out how much room I need. Did well this year. All right, so I think we're pretty good if we start about right there, but we want to go a little bit lower, I'm going to say. So we want to go about between those two lines. Now, get that inked up, and I'm going to come over here and just do a quick little test stamp. Didn't quite press hard enough to get a nice coating of ink there. There we go. All right, so we'll do this right here. Did. Clean that off very quickly. Let's see. Amy said, letting go of perfection around my house. I have been working hard to get together once a month with my crafty friends, embracing the fact that my house doesn't have to be perfect to invite them over. That is a big one. That is a big one, Amy. I mean, I don't mean for you. I just mean for me. That is, I'm the one, you know, when you see the funny memes, we're like, oh my gosh, they're coming over. We got to clean the baseboards. And Nick and the kids are always like, or the boys are not kids anymore, but they're always like, are you kidding me? Like, really? We're going to be doing that? And I'm like, just shut up and do it. Yeah. I need to let go of that. I really, really, really do need to let go of that. One of these days. One of these days, right? Always something to work on. Always something to work on. All right, so now I'm doing did well, or well. There's my well. And we'll do this here. Perfection is so overrated, so freeing, and they don't care and don't judge if you have puppy fur in the corner. I know, right? That's good. Good for you, Amy. Good for you. I didn't notice any puppy fur in the corner when I was there. Was there puppy fur in the corner? Puppy fur in the corner? Oh. Ah, okay, so let's talk about what just happened here. So you may have noticed when I am stamping, I put my stamps on my work surface face down and I pick them up with the stamping block. Now that time it didn't pick up. Well, there I pressed really hard, but it didn't pick up, right? It should just pick right up. The reason it's not picking up, when I feel that, there is like dust or lint on the back of that. So that is preventing my stamp from sticking to the stamping block. So I'm just cleaning the back of that off, right? Get rid of that little dust or lint. Sometimes I might even need to do that to my stamping block. And then we will go at that again and it picks right up. So you will probably see that happen most often with your smaller stamps, like your bullet stamps, because there's such a small surface area. If there's really any lint on that, then it just may not stick. So that's a really easy way. My stamp chamois when I'm stamping is usually right there, so I just clean it off with a stamp chamois. All right, did well this year. Oh, I love that. Louisa said, hi, Amy. I would love to come over to craft. No one even looks at the baseboards yet. And you know what? Here's the deal. Guess what? If you come to my house and you're looking at the baseboards, we probably shouldn't be friends, right? If that's what you're looking at is the baseboards, well, yeah. You should probably go somewhere that has clean baseboards, although I'm a bit of a freak, so I like to vacuum. And then I like to put the attachment on the vacuum where you can go over the baseboards, so that just means they might not have any dust on them. Doesn't necessarily mean they're clean. All right, this year. Now, it's always funny to me when I am stamping with this stamp set because that's my writing. I'm like, gosh, I could just write that. It would take a lot less time if I did that, but you can't do that. Well, you can with the stamp, but you can't just write it with that writing if you want that writing. So that's what I do. All right, so now we have our things I that goes up at the top. And we will get that little guy right there. Just test it a couple times. Another reason that you may want to test your stamps before you use them is your stamps may require different pressure. So this Things I does not need much pressure at all because it is a very, very fine stamp. If I press down, apply a lot of pressure on that, I will show you what happens. And if you're figuring that out on your project, probably not a place that you want to figure that out, right? So here are the differences. This is regular pressure, and then that is it over to the left. Now, there's really nothing wrong with that. It just is, that is a very fine stamp, and it's not really intended to look that way. So, but it's a good idea to test things first because I'd much rather figure out my pressure needs testing it as opposed to on my project, right? And go, oh shoot, I didn't press hard enough or I pressed too hard. I love that. Somebody just said, Terry said, I would be too busy loving on the puppy to ever notice fluff in the corners. It's Darium. Yes, your true friends would be more excited to see you rather than if your baseboards sparkle and your windows are streak free. In my humble opinion, that's absolutely true. I agree with that. I agree. I shouldn't say it's true, but I agree with you there. I totally agree with you. All right. So now what we need is we need to kind of figure out our little blocks here that we're going to write the things that we did well, right? We need to figure out our little blocks. So I have 6 things. Let's just see. Let's just start placing. I don't know. Usually, well, last year I used these 2 because these were the only ones I had last year. In the box 2 is a newer, right? Actually, I think I will end up doing this size so that 3 and 3, they'll just fit really well that way. Unless one of them over here maybe is a bigger one. We'll see what I have to write. So we'll use that guy. That's from in the box. Now, I don't think I want to use the navy again. What would I use? You know what? Maybe, do we want to pull in a yellow? Do we want to pull in a yellow? This is this is going to be a very muted list. We're going to have to pull in some other things because, yeah. All right, red, orange, yellow. Trying to come up with a color that isn't there, that still works. So red, orange, yellow. I think we'll use a yellow. Maybe fossilized amber or mustard seed. We probably better go with mustard seed because fossilized amber might just be a little bit too light. So let's go with mustard seed. Let's move this off to the side. I'll put these away later. Mustard seed. our little, oh, here we go. We need another stamping block. That guy works. So if you see in my rotation, I probably have 6 different stamping blocks that I use on a regular basis, starting with super small, and super small would be the stylus. For the most part, going up to maybe the one larger than this, the extra large one, I don't use too often, but when you have a really big stamp, then you need it, right? All right, let's check this guy out. Let's see what we have over here. Okay, I need to not get my ink in the center. So let me clean that off, dry it, and I'll do that again. 6-pound terrier rescue and totally runs our household. He's a cutie. He is a cutie, that's for sure. All right. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. Amy, when you're crafting, you put his dog bed on the table. He's so spoiled when you have your friends over. That is so fun. I love that. All right, so let's do this again. And let's not get in the center. So I'll try that again. I think I'm pressing too hard. Let's see what happens on that one. Yeah, there we go. We're good. So the difference, before I was going at an angle, and now I am just going with the stamp. All right. And I better just try it one more time because I did that. I'm pressing too hard. So let me check. Got to keep checking to make sure. Is that going to cause, oh yeah, that's going to cause problems. Let me clean it again. And dry it again and be more careful as I am inking that up. The other thing is if I do this, that will probably help me. If I go still, I still have that in there. Know if I can just get rid of that part or not. There's something that I am doing lately when I'm doing this because I just need to be much gentler. Be gentle. I'm generally not a gentle person, my friends. Okay, we're just gonna go. We're gonna go. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna make it work. Oh, get my pencil. And now where'd my pencil board go? Oh, here it is. It's clear. All right, so we're going, just a little bit more. All right, here we go. We're going to go this way. Nice even pressure. I don't want to rock it. I don't want to press super hard. There we go. Oops, did a little something weird there, but that's okay. All right, so there's the first one. This is a very muted color for what I think I normally do. Would you agree? Very muted color. I'm just gonna end up going in there and doing that, which I'm sure is not the right way to do it, but that's okay. One, two, I'm making 6 boxes. 6 little boxes in the boxes. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ladybugs came to the ladybug picnic. That's me singing without singing. You guys remember that? Remember that from Sesame Street, like way back in the day? I loved that song. I loved Sesame Street. I loved it. Alrighty, there's our 3 so far. Let's start with 3. We'll come back to this in a minute. Let's do the 3 on this side first. So we will now take our little die cuts and we will put our die cuts just kind of in there, right? One, two, three. You know, I do parts of this collection, I really like the color palette. Parts of it, it's a little muted. All right, let's take our glue or tape runner. We'll have this guy go right here, a little bit out of its box. And then two, we will put right here where it will just go like in the box a little bit. And then three. So Simple Stories is a collection like this every year. It's called something different every year. But basically it is a collection like this that you can, I don't know, there's numbers and things in it like that. All right, so we're gonna do the left side first, then we'll come back to the right side. Things I did well this year. All right, things I did well this year. One of the things I made a conscious effort to strike a balance in my life with work. Not all there yet, but getting better. Right? That means work a little less. That means work a little less. This is probably the best that I have done at this. Oh yeah, I've got yellow right after I did all that. It's probably the best that I have done at this in all the years. That's because I have more help now. That's because I'm at a position in my business where I can have more help, where I can afford more help, right? And so that is been a very conscious effort. So I did that well this year. Lots of room for improvement there, always, right? Lots of room for improvement, but that's one of the things I did well this year. If you have not piped in yet about things that you did well this year, please share. And think, if you have to think hard, it's okay. Still think hard, because I know there are things that you have done well. Kind of related to that, but a little bit different. Things I did well this year, delegated. Amy will tell you that, right? Part of that is having someone to delegate to, having some people, multiple, to delegate things to, right? Delegated, that does not come easy to me. Because no one will do it like I do. No one will do it like I do. But guess what? I can't do it all, right? I can't. So, not very good. Getting better at delegating. I did well this year. That does not come easy to me. Let's see. And letting go. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now, don't get me wrong. I did well. I didn't say I tackled and hit it out of the park, right? Did well. Working on. It's Darium. I love that. Something I did well. I asked for help when I needed instead of going it alone and white knuckling through it, right? That's good. That is really, really good. That's not easy, right? That is not easy. So good for you. Asking for help. Some of us, that does not come natural to us, right? Is asking for help. Right. Good for you. Congratulations for doing that. Kristen, helping elderly parents, right? There we go. There's that theme that we kind of keep coming back to. Helping elderly parents. That's amazing, Kristen. That's sometimes not an easy job. So good for you. Good for you. Judy said it is a very hard topic. Judy, it is. Absolutely it is. And I say this every year, and I did it even again this morning. As you know, Nick and I every morning, part of our routine, we have coffee, and he's like, "What's on your list today?" And this one every year, I'm always like, "Nick, help me. What did I do well this year? Help me." Because I think for some of us, it is not in our nature to say that we did something well. So if you were having a hard time, ask someone else. Ask someone else that's close to you, what did you do well? Ask a boss, ask a coworker, ask a friend, ask a partner, ask a child, ask a neighbor. Ask somebody that's kind of in your circle what you did well this year, because you'll be surprised. People will point out things that you did well that you probably would not recognize yourself as doing something well. All right, number 3 is, okay, here's one. And some of you are like, wow, that's something that you even had to put on your list. Yes, this was a major accomplishment for me this year. Keeping my closet clean and organized. This is probably the thing, this is going to sound so silly. This is probably the thing I am most proud of that I did well this year. Keeping my closet clean and organized. I have struggled with this. I'm sure my mother would agree. My entire life. And when I say clean and organized, I mean not giant piles of clothing on the floor. And I get frustrated because I can't find anything because it's all on the floor. So this started in June and it is 6 months now. I started in June and I'm still going strong. And I'm very proud of that. So when you say there's nothing I've done well this year, you'd probably think that a normal person wouldn't write keeping my closet clean and organized, right? But like I said, we all have our own lists. Doesn't have to be that you ran a marathon. Doesn't have to be that you saved $1 million. Doesn't have to mean that you, were the top salesperson in the entire country. Whatever is on your list, it's meaningful for you because it's something you think you did well, right? Yeah. I kept my closet clean and organized. And Nick is like so happy about that. You can't even imagine, right? All right. So I guess we'll just keep going with these 4, 5, 6. All right. So we're going to do our little boxes over here. Now, stop it. We're going to do our little boxes over here. Somebody tell me, why am I don't know, why am I getting those marks there? I'm going to have to continue to play with this because those marks shouldn't be there. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm pressing too hard. I think that's my problem. I'm pressing too hard. I know that's what my problem is. I'm pressing too hard and that's why I'm getting ink in those places. All right, so this guy needs to be, we want to do 6 here. Oh, no, 6, not 6. We don't want to do too juicy. Okay, that makes sense. 4 here, and then 5 here, and then 6 here. Oh, no, because I don't want those next to each other. There we go. Okay, I just needed to know where that was first. All right, one more box. I think your ink pad is very juicy. I think that's what it means too. I agree. Wait, Deborah, what did I miss? Deborah. I made the decision to retire. Very hard decision, but I love being retired. However, now I am a procrastinator. You know what, Deborah? One step at a time, right? I mean, that's amazing that you made a decision to retire. That cannot be an easy decision, right? That can't be an easy decision for a lot of different reasons, but good for you. That's a big one. That is a big one. And so guess what? I think what you'll find, you guys, sometimes if you are having a hard time kind of coming up with these things, then I want you to think about next year at this time. What do you want to be writing on your list next year at this time? All right, what do you want to be writing on your list next year at this time? And you know what that will do? That is going to actually set you up for one of our lists that we're going to be doing in a couple of weeks. Things that you want to focus on, right? Things you want to focus on for next year, or it'll be this year. It'll be this year for 2020. It'll be this year for 2020. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a big box down here because I think the last one, I have a little bit more to talk about on the last one. So if you're having a hard time coming up with things on your list, mentally start thinking about next year and what do you want to be writing on your list. Next year, I want to be writing on my list that I did really well at taking control of my health, right? Because I did not do well at that this year. But that's something I'd like to write on my list at this time next year. So that is going to help me the next couple of weeks when we do the things I want to focus on for 2025. All right, so think about that. Think about that. There we go. Louisa said, Lael, thank you for the challenge. One thing I have done this year, but not perfect, but I can remember birthdays. So I'll reach out to let them know someone is thinking about them. That's huge, right, Louisa? That is huge. Because you know what? That probably means a lot to the people that you are reaching out to, right? Probably means a lot to the people that you're reaching out to. And guess what? It is, especially if it's something that you feel like you haven't done well at in the past, then that's a big one, right? And again, it's your list. We all get to decide what goes on our list. But it's not an easy one. It is not an easy one. I will tell you, it's fun to look back on. It's fun to look back on the last 4 years of these lists that I've done to see what I did well. At least what I felt like I did well, right? It's a different way of documenting, right? So if you are new here, now you've got a good feel for what we do. It's just a very different way of documenting, but it's a fun way, right? It's a fun way because we're having fun with stamps and stickers and all kinds of things, right? All kinds of fun things. Yes, more thumbs up, more thumbs up. If you are still here and you haven't thumbs up, please do. That's very important. It's very helpful. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's get these little guys added. And then let's take a look at a few more things and then we'll come in and do a little bit more decorating because it's kind of plain right now. It's a little plain right now. Uh-oh. No worries. We'll just peel that right back up again. I do know that 5 comes after 6. That's my little lifting tool, right? You see that? That little lifting tool comes in very handy when you need to come back in and lift up a sticker that you have misplaced. All right, number 4. Spending time with people I choose to. Choose is the operative word there, right? Spending time with people I choose to, and managing the difficult relationships and keeping some people at bay. All right, and maybe this is a comes with age thing, but I don't have to spend time with people that I don't want to spend time with, right? I mean, of course, there are some people that, you know, if you have to be with them, you have to be with them. Maybe it's a coworker or something and you don't have a choice, but I have choice. I have a choice with the people I spend my time with. And if I am not getting what I need from those people, and you know, that sounds weird, but if I am not fulfilled when I am with those people, I don't feel like it is a good relationship, then I don't need that relationship. I can very quietly and easily just kind of extricate myself from the relationship. And that has been a big thing for me. All of these are still ongoing, right? All of these are still ongoing. But I have made a conscious decision this year to do this, and it's been a good thing. Yes, Julie, less people pleasing. Big lesson for her this year. Still needs work, but getting better. Yep. Heather said, good for you, Julie. That's great, right? That's great. Let's see. Heather said, that's what I did well this year, Lael, both with family, the hardest thing, and friends. Yeah. Sometimes with family, that's really difficult, right? Sometimes you can't. And then you just have to figure out how to manage, right? Figure out how to manage with it. All right. Susan, I love your advice to the person that said retired early, or made the decision, not retired, made the decision to retire. Deborah, Susan said, I found that adjusting retirement took quite a while. Give it time, which is great advice, right? Great advice. All right, the next one, which is kind of associated with the keeping the closet clean, but it's more than that. And it is letting go of things I've been holding on to for a rainy day. Whether that be clothes, whether it be candles, whether it be Christmas decorations, right? Decluttering and organizing and reorganizing. That goes hand in hand with decluttering, organizing, and reorganizing. All right, this last one. This last one is, let's see, growing and evolving my business. That has meant taking on new products that I never imagined doing, and also taking a look at things I have done in the past. And I'm just ad-libbing here. I mean, I'm just not ad-libbing. I'm just writing off the top of my head. Have done in the past, and making the decision to no longer do them. My business continues to grow and evolve in ways that I never in a million years thought it would. Like ever. I mean, I could say 5 years ago, my business was teaching scrapbooking classes. So it's way evolved from that. Way evolved from that. But in terms of products and things that we're bringing to market, and 4 new Traveler's Notebooks that are in production. And if all goes according to plan, knock on all the wood, may release in March. If they don't release in March, they will release in May. New idea book coming out, the whole new season pass. There's just a lot of things, but it also means taking a hard look at some things that I've done in the past and saying, you know what, I don't really do that anymore. That's not really my thing. And, you know, like layouts, like 12 by 12 layouts, not really my thing. And if it's not my thing and it's not my passion, it doesn't really, I probably shouldn't do it anymore, right? So just continuing to grow and evolve, and I feel like I've done a pretty good job at doing that. Always room for improvement, right? But I feel like I've done a pretty good job at that this year. All right, so now it is just like way too plain. It's way too plain. It needs some more things. Let's see. Jen says that resonates with me. I think the decluttering and the purging, her craft space. Yes, sometimes it feels so good. And you know what? Right now, especially kind of this time of year, it feels like it's just, at least for me, that's when I should be doing it. Let's see. Carol Lee said, life is too short. Spend time with those we don't enjoy, right? For sure. If it doesn't serve you any longer, let it go. Like Elsa, I know, right? From Frozen, let it go. Let it go. Get it out. It just, for me, it just it clutters my brain, and it's too much sometimes, right? Sometimes it is just too much. Too much. All right. So just looking at some things that are here. Those are the rub-ons. So I was trying to see if rub-ons somewhere. Oh, let's look at this. Let's look. Okay. So these are the sentiments, the sentiment bits. So maybe we'll throw some words in here. Let's see. Let me get a tray out again so I can spread these out. We'll see what we have. All right, all right, all right. Smile. You. Today. Let's see. Smile today could work maybe. Record for the record, not record. For the record. Relax. No one else knows what they're doing either. That's pretty good. Don't really have a space for something that big. I really just kind of need some words, right? Words, words, words. Let's see what we have. Well, hello there. These are the sentiments bits, the good and the bad. Oh, that kind of works, doesn't it? The good and the bad. I am A-okay. Amazing. This life. Document the little moments. To do more of what makes you happy. Well, that's a big one, right? That's a big one. So this is interesting. Maybe we pull in a few of these word strips. This makes me smile. Noteworthy. Maybe that's what we do as these things are starting to come together in my head. My favorite. Way to go. That's a good one, isn't it? Way to go. P.S. You are amazing. That would be good, right? We all need to say that we're amazing. We all need our own pat on the back. If we're not, we're the ones who have to do it, right? Not everyone's going to do it for us. Okay, I think for the record might be a little bit too big. Yeah, it doesn't really fit anywhere. So no for the record. Smile could work in here somewhere. I don't know. Is that a little forced? I feel like that's a little forced. Okay, no. Today doesn't really work. We know this life won't work. The good and the bad. No, this might not work either. The good and the bad. Probably not. I don't know. Oh no, the good and the bad. Actually, that works really well with number 6. Way to go. Amazing. What's this little guy? Well, hello there. That doesn't really work. Do more of what makes you happy. This works there. That could for sure go there, right? Document the little moments. I guess that could work there. We just kind of want to fill in some of these blank spaces, right? So as we are kind of on that theme, let's just look in here. These are the journal bits. Not really anything there that I think would work. Okay, let's look at the die cuts, which I have all over the place now. Or maybe those are the floral bits. All right, let's look one more place. Where's the sticker book? Where's the sticker book? I had the sticker book out a minute ago, right? These were the die cuts. Let's look and see what we can pull out of the die cuts. Making a record. Little pen. All of our numbers. Oh, that's a better for the record. We'll see if maybe that's going to come into play somehow. So we're just adding these last couple little accents and then we will be done. Trying to keep it together. Yeah. All right. Now, where's my sticker book? What did I do? Oh, there it is. We're just taking a look at all the things. We'll check out all of our choices. Now I know, oh, okay. Well, not really these things. And these I think are too light in color. They won't really kind of do what I want. So let's look at the back. Oh, maybe this sheet. All right. This sheet. Look at this. Maybe we just, I don't know. All right, I'm just gonna start putting stuff down. We're going to start putting stuff down. Kristen, how do you store your stamps? In a basket, binder, etc.? I have them, excuse me, in a drawer behind me. I've had my new craft room now for a year and a half. I still need to do the video. I still need to do the video, friends. And then in that video, I'll show you how I do it all. But let's see. TK says she organized other stamps, organized by theme. So I do have all my Lail by Mails together, and I sort those by size because that's how I think about it, because I know what I'm looking for. All of my other non-Lail by Mail stamps I store by theme. It sounds like TK does her Lail, all of her Lails together. Kim stands hers up in plastic bins by manufacturer. Yeah. Okay. Kim read more books this year. Good for you. See the things, you guys. She made more opportunities to meet new people. I love that you piped in with those things, Kim Create One, because it's all different kinds of things, right? Everybody has a different, everybody has different things on their what I did well list. To me, I think it's important. Here we go. Important. I think it is important that we identify these things, right? Even if you're not making a written list, I think it's important just mentally. Even if you're just mentally making a list, I think it is important. So that's what I think. You do what you want to do, but I think it's important to do that. All right. So now, after I pulled all those little strips out, we are here in the sticker book, because then all of these things just kind of go together, right? All of these things just kind of go together. Oh, let's see. Yeah. We need one here. Memorable. Memorable, we'll put right here. The good and the bad, and then maybe we'll put one more down here. And look at what the one we're going to put down here. Make a list. Make a list because it's what we're doing. We just made a list. All right, so that kind of filled things in a little bit more. Still, I don't know. It just still seems a little bit, I don't know. No, those aren't going to work either. It's just kind of plain, but I think that's the way it's going to be, friends. I think that is the way it is going to be. So let's do this. Let's take our little pen, and here we're going to write 2024. Things I did well this year. There we go. It is done. And that is our last list of today. So I am going to, let's turn that on, leave that back on. Just move the lights a little bit. I will rotate the camera, and we will say our goodbyes until next year, right? Until next year, we will be listing again in 2025. Isn't that crazy to think about? This is one of those, remember when you'd get out for school in elementary school right about this time of year, and you'd be like, see you next year. And, of course, next year, because it was, a couple weeks away. So we did 3 fun lists today. Thank you for joining me for those. A couple of the housekeeping items that we talked about. Prize. Oh, I didn't say what the prize would be, did I? What should the prize be? I know. How about this? Let's do one of the All the Things stamp sets. So this is an after party prize. So we already did the live prize in the chat. This is an after party prize. So the way you participate, hang on, I gotta make a note. The way that you participate in the after party prizes is you leave a comment on the video when it's over. So not in the chat, but leave a comment on the video when it's over. You have until next Saturday, which is when we're listing again. We're listing again on Saturday, January 4th. So leave a comment on the video and just tell me something you did well this year. All right, I want to know. Dig deep. Even if it's that you ate all your vegetables, you ate 3 servings of vegetables a day or whatever it is, right? You drank all your water, you flossed your teeth every day, whatever it is, find something you did well and put it in a comment on the video when it's over. And we'll all read those, okay? So I will read all of them. And then probably other people that go there too will read them. And you guys, you doing that may help someone else. You writing something may help someone else go, you know what? I did that. That was good. That would be on my list. That's something I did well this year. So next Saturday before we start, I will draw one random lucky winner from the comments left on the video to win the All the Things stamp set. And that All the Things stamp set is the stamp set I used in that last list, the things I did well this year. We are listing again on Saturday, my calendar's over there. On Saturday, January 4th, we will not be doing a What's New Wednesday next week, but week after that, I will start getting back on track on our kind of regularly scheduled What's New Wednesdays, so you'll get to see kind of up close and in person all of the new things. If you purchased the 2025 Year in Review Project Kit, we'll kind of talk about that one a little bit more next week because we'll be doing our last month list for the year, for the month of December. But those are have been shipping probably now for the last, no, they're not shipping until mid-January. Stamps should be coming in the next probably 10 days. So, and then we'll schedule the class for that. Those of you that purchased the season pass, watch for an email tomorrow. Because we'll do, that email will have the date and time for our first class for that. First of 3 classes with that product kit, and that will be to set up our Traveler's Notebooks for the month of January. Okay, friends, I think that's all. I think that's all I needed to remember. I don't know. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me this year, right? This is our last listing session for the year. Guys, I get so much out of these listing sessions, and it's very selfish. Honestly, it's very selfish for me that I continue to do these because it fills my cup. I'm not a fan of that saying, but it always, it expresses how I feel kind of the best. I get so much out of these. I enjoy being with you guys and chatting with you guys in the community and the camaraderie and the documenting, because that's really important, right? I always say this is my job is doing this. So if I wasn't doing this with you guys on Saturdays, I would not have anything documented for me personally. So I just appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. All right, friends. So I will see you. I hope to see you on the 4th. If I don't see you on January 4th, I believe there is a link in the description box of the video of our listing schedule through March of 2025. So hopefully if you can't make it on Saturday the 4th, I will see you at some point here in the near future. Okay, thanks for watching, friends. Have a very safe and happy new year, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.